miss me? Are you ready for a terrifying trip? Then lock your doors, pull the windows shut, and hold on. And don't worry, that thing in the corner, maybe it won't bite. Yeah, Friday Night Live. Yeah. On a Friday night, when the moon is high, cat and vault keepers see the shadows pass by. From true crime tales to the legends we revive, it's time for the chills on Friday Night Live. Aliens and demons, monsters in the night, Bigfoot and skinwalkers creeping out of sight. From cases of true crime to the creatures that arrive, you'll find it all on Friday Night Live. Through unsolved mysteries and the hush of the trees, cat and vault keepers share the tales with ease. From the eerie and bizarre to the cases still alive, they light up the dark on Friday Night Live. So when night falls and the stories arrive, cat and vault keeper bring you Friday Night Live, 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 live. Yeah, Friday Night Live. Yeah. On a Friday night, when the moon is high, cat and vault keepers see the shadows pass by. From true crime tales to the legends we revive, it's time for the chills on Friday Night Live. Aliens and demons, monsters in the night, Bigfoot and skinwalkers creeping out of sight. From cases of true crime to the creatures that arrive, you'll find it all on Friday Night Live. Through unsolved mysteries and the hush of the trees, cat and vault keepers share the tales with ease. From the eerie and bizarre to the cases still alive, they light up the dark on Friday Night Live. So when night falls and the stories arrive, cat and vault keeper bring you Friday Night Live, 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 live.
What's up, everybody? We're going to have one last Friday night where we're having to share a mic because all our equipment didn't come in this week like I thought it was. But catch on that. I hope y'all like what we have planned here. It's going to be a little different because this went a little different for us. Because where we got this idea from was Miss Cat was listening to an episode of Dixie Cryptid. And can y'all hear me good? If you can, put a 1 in chat, please. She was listening to Dixie Cryptid, and she heard a story. and I'm gonna let her tell what she heard, and then we'll go from there.
And the story that I heard on Dixie Cryptid was a Memphis police officer back. He's retired now, but back in '93, I think it was right around '93 or '94, he was on patrol right around an area that is what we would call West Memphis, kind
Yeah,
of.
it's West Memphis.
Yeah, and it was 2:30 in the morning. And there's this one area that's really weird. It has a lot of weird stuff happening. This little patch of woods that's always been kind of odd feeling to him. So it's 2:30 in the morning. He's driving past this area, and he sees this really bright light out there. So he's in his patrol car, and he's looking at the light, and he's thinking, "Wow, there's some boys out there, mudding or something with some really bright lights." Then he sees in his peripheral vision something coming into view on the road, and he looks over and he slams his brakes on because there was something about 3 feet tall that ran out in front of his patrol car, and he slammed his brakes on and he stops. And what he sees is, and what he says is that at that point he went into observation mode, that he described this 3 foot tall little creature as having almond huge eyes. He didn't see a nose, and the eyes were real close together, but they were really huge. And the mouth underneath, which never opened, went all the way up to where its ears should be. And if it had ears, he said he couldn't see them. If it was wearing clothes, he couldn't tell, because if it was wearing a suit, it was skin tight. It was a light grayish color. He said it looked like skin, no hair on it. And he couldn't tell what kind of hands it had because its hands were folded in and it was hunched over. So he said it was probably taller, and it was running on 2 legs, so it was probably taller than 3 feet. But because it was hunched over, that's what it was. And it took off down to the woods, and he automatically jumped out of his car and went chasing after it. And that's what police officers do. As he was running down this embankment, he said in his head, something said, "You need to stop this. This is dangerous."
Remember that part.
Yeah, you need to stop. You need to go back. Now, he already knew that going down this embankment wasn't a good idea to do just physically. So he went back to his patrol car. He got in and he drove down a little bit, and he pulled over. And he thought, you know what? Who said that in my head? Because as a cop, that's not what we say. That's not what we do. And he's sitting there and he's thinking about it, and it did it again. It's just too dangerous. You need to keep going. You just need to drive. So he drove on again. And then he pulled over a little bit later, and he was thinking about it, and it didn't make any sense to him. None of that made any sense to him. That wasn't his thinking. That wasn't his thoughts. There's nothing that's too dangerous. And that's where this story for us, because we started talking about it, bled into what happened back in '93 that involved the West Memphis Three. And James had asked me, did I ever hear about that? And it's like, no, I never heard about that. Living in Florida, never heard about it. In '93, if I recall, I was just at 90. Nothing else we didn't have cell phones at the time. There was really nothing going on.
Nope.
Not like now.
Nope.
I think in '93 was the Desert Storm going on. That was before.
That was before.
Okay.
All right. Now, like I said, we were talking about this, and I don't know if y'all remember from the old shows. There's a really, really good friend of mine. I call him my little brother. His name is Chase. He's been on live stream with me several times. Well, this is back in 2000, and I'm going to say either, I think it was 2008, no, 19 or 20, somewhere in there. If he's listening, he can verify that. Well, he had heard about this area, and there's a truck stop not far from it. And we're going to get into this, where it's at and all that. Anyway, he had pulled off on the side of the road, like a lot of truckers do, and he decided to go down into where this area is. They call it the Devil's Knot. It's well known around around the Memphis area, and you start researching, you can find this. Well, he was curious about it. He got a couple hundred yards from his truck, and he calls me, and he's kind of panicky. And I'm like, dude, what's wrong? What's going on? And he tells me then where he is and what he is doing. And I told him, dude, that's not a good idea. I don't know what you're doing there, but that's a bad, bad area for lots of reasons. And he said, yeah, something's just telling me I need to get out of here. He said, it's like it's playing over and over in my head. You need to get out of here. You need to get out of here. You don't need to be here.
Now, this is the same place that.
Yep, this is the same
cop
place that the
was
cop.
heading to.
So Chase goes back to his truck. Hey, Larry, he goes back, gets in his truck. The whole time he's just he's freaking out, and this guy don't get freaked out, and he carries and everything else. He fires his truck up, and he goes down. I think he actually goes past the truck stop on over into Arkansas several miles until he starts to feel better, and he don't hear that voice in his head no
See,
more.
the funny thing is too, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I have to interrupt you because I didn't even tell you this, that when we moved here, when we moved to Memphis for my job, we had to get, first we had corporate housing, and then we had to get a fully furnished rental, and it cost us a ton of money. So we knew being a couple blocks away from where I work was not a good idea. Being in uptown Memphis is not a good, we
downtown Memphis.
Well, they call it uptown, actually. I know.
It's near the pyramid, y'all.
Yeah, it's within walking distance. It's a really bad area, so we found that out the hard way. But so whenever I would start looking for other rentals, I would look for, something further away, kind of in a rural area, but not too far away from work.
Yeah.
So I looked all in the area, and West Memphis is an area to look at because you go across the bridge, and West Memphis is Arkansas. So you go across the bridge into Arkansas. So we went out there a few times, and we went through there a few times going on vacation.
Yep. We even had to go pick up one of our house guests.
Yes.
That had parked out there one time.
Yes. So
it used to be on the channel. I'm not going to say his name.
But the thing
is, I will. His name is David.
Anyway, but the thing is that I never told you this. I don't even think I did. When we go over the bridge, okay, into Arkansas, there's a casino over there, and there's a Walmart and all that stuff. We were going to the Walmart too because we were living down there in Memphis. Every time we were down there, I didn't like it. And every time we went by this one area on the way back home, I would look, and it's out my right-hand side of the window.
I told you it's not a good area.
No, but I would look out of the window at these woods, and I was like, there's just, and we even talked about it, about, what is out there? Is there squatches out there? What is it? Because there was something really ugly. And then recently, we had to move. So I was like, well, let me look again in Arkansas. But after just thinking of the land right there, I was like, no, I absolutely, I just ruled that out completely.
Yeah, you see what Mr. I don't know how to say.
West Memphis has rough truck stops. Yes, sir, it does.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's I think it's a Love's truck stop that's right there. It's a truck
I don't know if
wash.
it's Love's anymore.
But if
I don't
you
know.
hold on, if you look this area up when we start talking about it, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is not an isolated incident. We just told y'all about two. But if you start researching that area, years ago, back in 2010, the first time I ever, before I'd heard about the West Memphis 3, I was actually up here because I don't know if the people from from that used to listen to me remember talking about before they'd built the pyramid. Right up from that, I took her and showed her where it was. They used to have a barge that they dumped garbage on. Well, they had a whole bunch of garbage containers out there, either waiting to be prepared, waiting to be put back out. Well, these two workers that are going out there to work on some of these contain these are the big like sit outside the stores. As they're walking through the yard, walking through some, one goes rolling past them. I'm talking about flipping end over end like this. These things weigh several hundred pounds. I forgot how much they weigh, but they're several hundred pounds. But it's rolling through there like a ball. And then they hear this god awful noise. They come out to the end and look back like this. And there's what they described was this big hair covered creature from hell standing up there roaring and kicking and going crazy. And they took off. Well, I was up there looking at the time to find out what they saw, if it actually was something flesh and blood. All I found tracks and stuff, found stuff going down to the Mississippi River. But anyway, I started asking other people questions about, other odd things that were going on. And that's when I was told I need to go look at the Devil's Knot in West Memphis. And I'm like, Devil's Knot? I'd never heard of it. Now, it's got a couple of different names. We'll go over that. So I go out there and I'm going all over the place. This place gives you the heebie jeebies. I'm talking about it. As soon as you get out, as soon as you go there, it gives you the heebie jeebies. I don't know why, other than I believe the land is cursed. And from what I found out, I cannot prove that because the person I talked to was years ago and they're probably not with us anymore. That they said that was cursed land. Well, when I started talking to some other elders and stuff about cursed lands and all that, they told me I needed to heed where I was going because it sounded like that land and cursed land. There's nothing going to be there but evil demonic spirits. And after what happened, I found out back in 93 happened. I firmly freaking believe that because this case made that place famous. This is the thing. Those are not the only murders that have ever happened there. Now, to understand what we're talking about, the West Memphis 3, there were three young boys, like I think ages 8 to 9, that were brutally murdered and tortured. They were tortured, murdered, threw in there's a creek that runs through there, threw in that creek, and still bound and tied and all that kind of stuff. Well, the locals. This is the thing. Now, I came on here and praised law enforcement a couple weeks ago, and I meant every word I'm saying. This is the flip side. If you've never been accused of something and had to go to court and prove your innocence, you won't get this. But people that have are people that have had to, a lot of people believe, and most of us believe, it's innocent until proven guilty. That ain't the case 99% of the time. The thing is, usually you're guilty until proven innocent. Well, the West Memphis Police Department and a whole bunch of others that were involved in this. When I say a botched job, and if it wasn't because it was botched and it was ignorance or laziness, then this was the biggest cover up scandal bullcrap that was national news. And people just let it happen. Those 3 boys were tortured and killed. Then, within a couple of days, they arrested 3 other. I think at the time, one was Damien. Excuse me, y'all got the hiccups. Damien, I don't know what his last name.
Damien Eccles. I think he was either 17. I think he was 17.
He turned 18 while he was in jail or whatever.
I don't want to get their names wrong. Give me just a second.
She's going to get their names, but there were 3 of them, teenagers. They were arrested and accused. Before they arrested them, one of them that had a learning disability, I think he had an IQ of 73. The police department, the detectives at the time, one of them was an arrogant guy, real arrogant. They questioned this boy with.
So the 3 teenagers that they went and started questioning. Jason Baldwin was 16, Damien Eccles was 18, and Jesse Miskelly Jr. was 17.
All right. I think the 17-year-old Jesse is the one that I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He was questioned for 12 hours. They did not video it, did not tape it. They didn't take any notes.
They didn't Mirandize him either, and
hold on.
Parents were there.
Hold on. So, no, his parents weren't there.
They weren't there.
No, his parents weren't there. But he wasn't Mirandized. They didn't video it. They didn't record it, audio record it. They didn't even take notes. Then after 12 hours of questioning and showing, they showed the photos of these little dead boys that they were taking out of the water and how they showed all this to him. They get him to miraculously give this confession that he did it. The problem is that's when they started recording. In the recording, while he's giving that, he messes up the everything from when it supposedly happened, and you listen to them correct him and 3 different times. He messed up a bunch of stuff, but they kept coaching him through it. Well, anyway, to understand how goofy this is, none of them ever asked first, do you have an alibi? Is there somebody that can say where you were other than anywhere in West Memphis? And this boy was still in school. He was actually a wrestler for, I think, West Memphis High or Junior High. I'm not sure, but he was a wrestler because he was at an event somewhere else, miles away, and it was logged down his wins and losses. Plenty of people seen him. That was never took into consideration. Well, they had his trial, convicted him. He got life in prison for supposedly helping the other 2. The other 2 go to trial. They try them together because they were the ones that supposedly did the heinous act. One of them, Damien, he got death. They put him on death row with a life sentence after death row, which is crazy. The other young boy, the youngest one, they gave him life. Now, I'm telling you all this up front so you understand, because what does that say?
No, just keep going.
All right. During the trial, a bunch of stuff came out that didn't make sense. They had experts up there and this is the crazy thing. You can go to HBO and watch this documentary, and this ain't a recreation. They documented this case from beginning of finding the boys to the end, and then past them. We're going to get to that part. It's the craziest thing you ever saw. You can't make this crap up. Well, they convicted both of these boys somehow. They had people testify as experts that that didn't have any qualification of being an expert. The judge didn't help any. He let crap go that he was just as guilty of the railroad as everybody else. Then they convict him. Damien gets the death penalty plus life. The other boy gets life. Actually, I think he got 3 life sentences. We're going to fast forward now 18 years. 18 years. They have gotten support now because people that watch this documentary, and the name of the documentary is
Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost. Look it up. It's
HBO Max has
it's
it
a
right
HBO
now.
Max.
That's where we
Now,
got
if you're faint of heart, understand in this there are graphic scenes, there are
very
graphic depictions, there are pictures.
What is it? The pictures from
they show you pictures from where
the little boys.
The little boy from the murder site or the site that they were dumped, because nobody believes that they were murdered there. Anyway, fast forward 18 years. New evidence had came forth. Actually 17 years, 2 years earlier, 17 years, new evidence, DNA evidence came from one of the ligatures that were tying the little boy. There was a hair. So there was this ongoing thing called Free the West Memphis 3. They raised the money to have some of the leading experts in the country and the world get involved with this. They tested that hair. Well, lo and behold, it comes back to none of the 3 that were convicted. Well, they go and try to get a judge to rehear all this evidence, because if their DNA was not the one left on the kid, then how are all those 3 guilty? And to hear evidence that was not brought forth at trial that would further prove they're innocent. Now, there's a reason why I'm going over all this, and we're going to get to it here in just a minute. I'm sorry, it's a little long-winded, but they fought with this going in front of the original judge. He said no, not once but twice. So finally, they go to the appellate court, if I ain't mistaken. The appellate court says yes, there's evidence there. They kick it up to the Supreme Court. Well, before the Supreme Court can rule and give these boys a new trial, the state of Tennessee, Shelby County, not Shelby County,
you talking about Arkansas?
Yeah, West Memphis prosecutor. We're going to say West Memphis, not Tennessee, but Arkansas. Decided
Marion County.
Huh?
I think it's Marion County.
Yeah, I think it's Marion County.
I'm not sure.
They decided that what they would do is let these boys give an Alford plea. Now, for the ones that don't understand what an Alford plea is, you need to go look this up. An Alford plea, they stood up. All this has been documented. You can go watch it. They stand up in the court. Now, remember, they've all been convicted. But the state does not want to retry them, because they know if they do, they're screwed, bigger than crap. And this is known, but here in just a minute, I'm going to bring this up because if you go watch the show we're talking about, it shows it. It is blatant what happened. Anyway, they stand up and all 3 of them give an Alford plea. And Alford plea says that I am not guilty, but according to...
I am guilty.
Hold on. You're jumping ahead. they plead that they're not guilty, say they didn't do this, but according to their lawyers and the state says that they will let us go free if we plead guilty. We plead guilty. That happens to all three of them. One of them was a holdout. He didn't want to do that because he wanted his name cleared. But his best friend was Damien. From the time they went to prison to then, they stayed friends. And he said in the show, he says the only reason why he decided to do that is because they were going to kill his friend Damien, and he didn't want to see somebody else murdered for nothing. So he did it. Now, the prosecuting attorney comes out and does this damn press release. Why? I have no idea, because he made himself look so guilty. He says in there, well, the reason why we went ahead and did this now and let these boys go is because we knew if we retried them and when they won, it would cost the state of Arkansas billions of dollars because they had been wrongly convicted. It was all about money, because see, once they pled guilty, they didn't even have to. Now the police don't have to go back, reopen that case, and find out who actually killed these little boys. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if there's not blatant stupidness going on, but also you're talking about pure freaking evil. 3 little boys were brutally tortured and murdered, and they didn't care nothing about it. Now think about this. They let supposedly 2 convicted murderers that were on multiple life sentences. They just let them go. Damien, that was several, I think, months away from being executed. He went from months away from being executed to free as a bird. But the state of Arkansas said, okay, that's fine, as long as we don't have to pay them any money.
But the reason why that these 3 teenagers were targeted was because they were considered to be satanic.
Hold on. This is Chase, y'all. This is who I'm talking about. He can tell you where he went to at the Devil's Knot. That place is wickedly crazy. Hey, man, can you get on here in a minute? What? Let's go. Oh. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
The reason they were targeted was because they were considered devil worshippers.
Oh, yeah. I think the only devil worshippers, satanic people. But if y'all watched the movie, one of the stepfathers was crazy as the day is long. He made himself look so guilty it wasn't even funny. Then later on, it come out that another one of these boys' stepfathers, 2 stepfathers, and I think those 2 either did it together or one of those did it. Uh, you talking about? I believe. This is my belief. I firmly believe this was demonic possession. You tell me what else it could be. You explain to me how all these people could see these little boys that got tortured and murdered, and they just, all they care about is getting their name in the paper. These police cared about getting their name in the paper and getting a pat on the back, and they wasn't worried about who actually did it. They were just worried about their fame and fortune. You tell me now, like I said, convince me. I say there were some people that were demonically possessed. That's the only thing that makes sense. What about you? We went looking for cryptid stuff and came across real evil, demonic people.
Well, there's a lot of ways to look at it because it is before, we had cell phones. It's before we had, a lot of the computers that we have now. So the news didn't get out there the way it should have. It took a while to get out there, so there wasn't a whole lot of publicity brought to it. And this area is a very poor area. West Memphis is, especially at that time, and they're very heavy on it's the Bible Belt, on their religion. And for them to target these teenagers as being the ones who killed these little boys because because they wear black or because they dress different, because they draw, things and they talk about, I don't know what they were.
They were listening to heavy metal
and
stuff.
Yeah, they wore Metallica shirts. That was one of the things too.
And to let people know, if you watch this or you research it, see, this is the thing. When I say people with common sense and people that started asking questions, they didn't have a choice but do what they did, because you had people like Johnny Death that were supporting Free the West Memphis Three. I don't know if people realize that. Metallica did fundraisers to help get these boys out of prison and off death
They
row.
had a whole crowdfunding going on.
Oh yeah, there were people from around
America.
the world. They brought to the Capitol. They had laminated these postcards. They were over a mile long of postcards, like 7 to 8 tall, and just lined up end over end. They're over a mile long. Like I said, the populace did not believe it.
No, but you have to understand too. Again, this is a small town. This is it's a very poor area. There's a lot of drugs.
Well, that's what they were counting on.
There's a lot of racism. That's all there is to it. All the South is. I thought Florida was South. Florida is not even considered part of the South, and now I understand why.
And that to me, that's
Florida's
demonic.
a whole different country. As far
to me, that's demonic. To be racist is some kind of demonic thing.
Oh no, it is, because it feeds
to not like somebody because of the color of their skin is stupid.
But it feeds into that what is it? The pack mentality, right? So it works both ways, in whether it's good or bad. So when you have a church and people in the church that are so focused on what they believe that they can't see anything but that's not good. You have to see both sides. You have to see both good and evil to see the truth. You can't just be huddled in here and say, no, this is the only thing that there is, and everyone believes just that because that's what they were told by their parishioner or by their preacher or by whoever is in charge. It is a cult. I don't care what anyone has to say. I understand that we're living in the Bible Belt here, but you have to look at it from all angles to get the truth. And if you don't, it is just the Salem witch trials over and over and over again. So when people say you need to write down everything that happened so that we can have it historically correct, so that later on there's data, there's references, so that way we don't repeat history over and over again. But yet we keep repeating history over and over again. And everyone sees it. Everyone sees what's happening and no one does anything about it. You know why? Because we're too busy looking at our phone. We're too busy seeing what the next thing is that we can just scroll to. We don't even look up at each other and realize what's going on around us anymore.
Read your quote. I like that little quote. I got to take one of these out of my ear because it's aggravating the hell out of me.
To go back and find it.
Chase, if you're ready, now I'm going to put the only way I can get this to Chase is put the link in chat. Now, if you want to come in and behave, I won't have a problem with it. But like I said, this is what this show is about tonight. It is about understanding. This is Chase will tell you, other people that know me, I don't have a problem with someone wanting to go out and find what they're looking for, but understand what you're getting yourself into. Because sometimes what you think you're looking for, that ain't it, and you can find something way worse. And I don't care how bad you can fight, how good you can fight. I don't care what knife you got, what gun you got, and how many buddies you got. It don't help you against demonic spirit stuff. The only thing that can help you with that is if you're right with God, you have a relationship with God, and you have asked Him to bleed the blood of Jesus Christ over you and save your soul, and you're trying to do your best to live the best life you can, and that still may not save you. Your soul will be saved, but that won't save this vessel you're in. You need to understand how dangerous it is. We'll be back up with you. What?
Yeah, he'll be here in a few minutes. So I want to
All
read
right.
to you this little snippet of a story that kind of talks about history repeating itself, and it kind of shows where we are right now.
You need to tell who said that.
This is Glenn Beck today on his podcast.
Thank you, Mr. Glenn.
He was referring to, if anyone follows or knows about Perez Hilton. I can't say his name.
Paris Hilton.
No, Perez Hilton. He is a podcaster, and he has been on the left for a very long time. Recently, he was hospitalized and he almost died. He came on air and he talked about how when he almost died, that God came to him and spoke to him. He heard the voice of God, and he did. It changed him. This was recently, few months ago, maybe at the most. He then started reading the Bible. He started talking about that on his podcast. Now, anyone who watches, I can't say his name properly, Perez Hilton, knows he has spent his career bashing people. Well, on TikTok, on Tuesday night, he was there on 30 Minutes live on TikTok. He moved to Miami after having some issues. He has 3 children. For 30 minutes on TikTok, that man cut himself from head to toe. He was naked. And apparently the footage is so raw and horrific. The man is covered in blood. And obviously do not go watch it. Absolutely do not, because it's something that everyone says, just like the Charlie Kirk thing, you cannot unsee it. So don't go watch it. But this is what happened, because while Perez Hilton is on, he has a large following of people. He's on TikTok for 30 minutes with a butcher knife, slicing every part of his body. All of his friends and all of the people on there weren't doing what they were supposed to do. Number one, no one was communicating to him. No one was trying to stop him. TikTok didn't take that down for 30 minutes. AI, supposedly they have AI, caught it, sent it to a human person. The human person decided to leave it up there. Okay? So it wasn't until 30 minutes. The police showed up. People on air were calling the police to show up in Miami to his house. The police showed up. They didn't go because he wasn't harming anyone else. So they had to wait it out, because at the time
that's actually wrong.
He wanted suicide by police. So they didn't go in. Anyway, This is what Glenn Beck was talking about today.
You need to listen to this.
What?
No, you.
Oh, what?
No, you. What you're fixing to say?
Oh, I don't know. What do I need to listen to?
Hold on,
Listen.
brother. I'm gonna let her do this, and I'll bring you in.
So this is what Glenn Beck is referring to right here, and it has to do with everything we're talking about. Okay. This is a man bleeding and an audience and a machine engineered to gather the crowd to hold it there. And that's our phones and TikTok, okay? So you can call that technology if you want, but it's the oldest architecture in the history of man, and we've been here before. So he really wrestled with talking about this on his show. He didn't really want to talk about it, but this is what he went back to. I went back to Augustine, 1600 years ago. Augustine writes down what happened to his best friend. His name was Alypius. He was young, gifted, studying law in Rome. One afternoon, all of his friends grab him and drag him to the Colosseum for the games. He fought them the whole way. He said, "You can haul my body into that place, but you cannot make me watch it. I will be there, but I will be absent." And he sat down in the amphitheater and he shut his eyes. Then something really gruesome happened. A man goes down in the sand, in the
Arena.
Colosseum. The entire crowd roars all at once, and Alypius opens his eyes. Augustine says his friend took a wound in the soul deeper than the wound the fighter took in his body, and he drank it in. He was not the man who had walked through the gate. He was now one of the crowd, and he came back to the crowd, to the Colosseum, and the next time he brought other people with him. Notice what got him. Not the men who dragged him, not the gladiator. It was the roar of the crowd that got him. What got him was the belief that he could sit in that room and not be in that room. So Tuesday night, there were thousands of people in that room, and he read the comments that they wrote afterwards.
Hold on, Chase.
That this is our Colosseum. This is our amphitheater.
Yep.
And we are now witnessing the most gruesome, the most horrific things, and we keep coming back for more and bringing more people. That's evil.
Yep. And that's why I wanted to do this show about this. And well, shit.
Now, I understand that we're all looking at our phones right now, and we're on YouTube right now, and there's a lot of good parts about technology.
Hit your unmute.
But most of it is not good.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to disturb you.
Oh no, but
hey,
like,
Chase.
Hey, brother. But see, that's part of what I want to do here. Like I said, I told y'all this is not the same old Vault of Nightmares. I want to bring y'all. You know, when you watch evil, how does the quote go, Chase? When it only takes good men not to do nothing when they see evil being done to be evil themselves.
Yeah, very close. I can't remember exactly because I just heard it the other day. But I think we all know what we feel.
Yeah, well, like I said, people think the devil's knot is a joke, and like I said, Kat had heard the story. She comes in. I said, that's Chase went there, and the same thing happened to him. He heard that voice in his head. Tell it.
Well, all right, I'll say this. There's only two places that I've ever been truck driving that drawed me. And both of them were at a pilot. And The first one I'm gonna say was by your house. Remember when I called you? I'm like, hey man, I want to go out and this, like, dude, I want to go search this. I was so excited because I just kept thinking I want to go look over just across the street, and I like was I called you. I'm like, and you first thing you said was, do not go over there. I'm telling you, don't go. And then you took me there in that area, and you showed me, and you started telling me all the stuff that went down
Now,
over there.
now where he's
And
talking about, y'all, is a place back in Mississippi where I used to live.
that's 2 times. It's never happened in my life where I was, like, physically drawn to a location and could not help it. Because 'cause I've been to hundreds of truck stops. Usually, when I go to the truck stops, I'm just looking around. I wanna go look over here. I wanna go look over here. But for whatever reason, those 2 spots, I was drawn to it, like, "Alright, I wanna go here. I have to go here." And to the point where I was gonna ignore what you told me, and I wanted to go anyways, and I had to fight it. And the only reason I fought it was because really and truly, I was just gonna ignore it, and I was just gonna go anyways.
It's
But
that
then
evil spirit. I'm talking about
yeah,
that's what it is.
but the thing was I had already, like, hung out with you.
Uh-oh.
We're losing a connection.
Huh? Hold on. I don't know what happened. Can y'all still hear us? Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear us. I don't know what happened, brother.
Chase got froze.
Can y'all still hear us? If you can, please. Okay, you can still hear
Thank
us.
you. Yeah, I think Chase needs to.
Chase, you may have to go out and come back in. I'm sorry, brother. I don't know what happened.
It's okay. He'll come back. We'll get him back in just a minute. But there's a lot of evil places out there. There's a lot of evil people, and there's a lot of evil that people don't even know about.
The one thing
in
that people
places.
don't this is the thing, you've got a built-in radar.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know what happened, dude. Go ahead and finish your story.
Probably what we're talking about. But I felt when I went to that location close to where you live, felt a immediate like drawnness, and then you had to warn me. I already. This is after I already hung out with you. Remember, you dropped me off. I went and hung back out in my truck, but it was like I was like, I'm gonna go out there and look, but I kept playing back because you already took me and showed me the area, and you told me all the stories in that area. But there was this constant like thing in my head was like, I want to go look at this. I want to go out there, but I want to see something. I want to see something so bad. Like for whatever reason, I want to see something so bad because the most I've ever seen is like things flying past me, and even hanging out with you. The footprint we seen, right after like we saw something shoot by and we took off in the area and we saw like a footprint filling up with water, like little stuff like that. I was just so hungry to just see something. And all the stick structures and things. So it was like, dude, I want to see this stuff. But as I've grown, I've aged. Luckily, I'm not thinking process in that way. But when I went to this location randomly, I just stopped at the same type of gas station, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking across. And I'm like, dude, there's this big, huge area that's like a triangle piece of woods, and I'm looking at it across an interstate. It's literally right off the freaking interstate, and I'm looking at it, I'm like,
Nobody would think that place has the history it has.
no, I had no idea. There was something that I was looking at that area. I'm like, dude, there's something going on. I gotta go check this out. And it was dark too. And I'm like, but I didn't care. I was like, okay, so I'm thinking in my head, okay, I could cross, how can I walk from where I'm at and cross the interstate? And I'm thinking about, and luckily I called you. I was telling you about this area. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. And I was even telling you like when I wanted to go over here, I was explaining it to you, and you go, you have any idea what that is? And I'm like, no. He's like, you're at such and such. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's like, do you know what happened? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. And then he tells me, and I'm like, in my back of my brain, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I still want to go look. But it was like he started telling me, he's like, I would not go there. There's like pretty much I got the click from him. And this is the old vault, but I got the click thought and process in my head. I was like, well, he's telling me to go over there. There's some dark stuff over there. It's not just like whatever. But I really felt called to go over there. Like I wanted to see it. There was something. There only 2 times that's ever happened. I've been to thousands of truck stops all over, and I always think I want to go explore. But there was 2 places I've ever felt drawn, and those were the 2 places close to where you live, and then right in that location. And it was random, so it was weird. So it made sense.
Well,
And you
like,
tell the story, you know.
yeah, well, like I said, this is what I think is funny. Like I said, I've been doing this. I told people way, way, way before. I've been in the cryptid field for over 20, probably 30 years now. And I've gotten to talk to some of the OGs like Roger Green and all of them, and got to go a lot of places. And some people, Chase has done. He'll start talking about a place, and I'll end up telling him where he's talking about, who he's talking about, because I've been doing this for so long. Then I get called by some people a know it all or I don't know nothing. Okay, don't listen to me. You go
Oh,
figure it out for yourself.
you remember okay, so this is the first, so there's a part of the Natchez Trace that you can actually go down on a semi. You can actually do it.
You don't
But
have no choice.
yeah, I don't think I was supposed to be on that road in a semi, to be honest.
You
I really,
wouldn't, but that's the
I
funny
was
part.
not supposed to be on it, but it just the GPS took me, and I always followed my Google like a dumbass. But but which I ain't gonna lie, I've gotten away with a lot, but I definitely wasn't supposed to be on that road. But it was like so winded, and I'm having to take up other people's lanes coming up. But it was like, dude, it was like 2 in the morning, and I'm like cruising. I'm only doing 30, 20, like going downhill, like cruising, and I seen this crazy, like all I seen was a black blur go across the front, and first thing I do is call Bob. I'm like, yo, I don't know what happened. And he's like, where you at? And I'm like, I tell him, he's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I know where you're at. Da, da, da. He tells me about the area. I'm like, dude, I still don't know what that was. My brain tried to process as like an owl flying across, but it was like a black, like,
No, that wasn't no owl. Or that was the super owl. But
yeah, it tripped me
that
out.
that area right there, it's actually not too far from what they call witch dance.
Yeah,
In that area, that's where
yeah,
me
that's the
and
one. Oh no, that's the one close to Tennessee, right? Remember, I was on
yep,
the where it begins. Remember?
yep.
Okay, yeah.
Well, for everybody that knows, the first time I ever had Lakea was with me, the kids were in the back seat asleep. We were going from a Christmas outing, going back to our home in North Mississippi. We're in Central Mississippi, where we got on the trace at, and we had went a couple of miles, and that's the first time I ever come across. I had never heard of, as long as I'd been in this crap, that about a dog man, and what I saw did not make sense. It looked like a giant cow, but it was a dang werewolf. It was a wolf, but it was running. It would go from four legs to two legs, and it tried to tackle our car. I took her to where it happened. I said, I can take you right back to where it happened, and there's no reason it should have done what it done. But anyway, that was the first time I'd ever had a run in with one. And I think those things are actual negative spiritual, because just the way they act, they try to put fear into you. They try to to they they try to kill you from just being around you. Not just physical touch, but they just want it's like you talk to anybody that's had an experience. You know what's bad? They say dogs look like their owners. uh y'all, and this is the
Hold on,
thing.
hold on. I had it mute. I was gonna say you dirty dog.
no,
He don't look like me.
no, yours looks pretty clean.
I just gave him a bath. He better.
Yeah, look, y'all, that's like how me and Chase really became close and friends. He had another little puppy named Blue, and something bad happened one night, and Blue got away from him. And the first thing Chase is thinking of is where he's at. There's been talked about squatches and stuff. He calls me all going. He's going 900 miles an hour, and it took me a little bit to get him calmed down. Now, this is the thing about me. Like I said, you can tell me you've had a sighting. You can tell me. I do not think everything it is cryptid. You know, and if you slow down and think about it, people, that go out looking for Bigfoot and Dog Man and all, every little stick that breaks, every little noise is a Bigfoot or a Dog Man, and it wound up being nothing supernatural. The
Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm gonna put it this way, and I gotta say this. So, all right, a lot of this is like in the beginning when I started getting into all this content and all this stuff, and I started experiencing all that stuff, just going looking. I was like super into it, right? And I am in like a crazy area, but this happened where my dog went. But to be honest with you, it was everything was my fault because I was distracted, and because of distraction, because my Blue, he would follow me everywhere. He'd never leave my side, constant. But I was on my phone, distracted, and I just assumed he was automatically like with me. I back out, and then all of a sudden, I didn't go no more than like maybe 40 yards backing out because I was gonna park on the other side. That's when my brain triggered, and I'm like, "Oh, where's Blue? Oh shit!" And I park and run out, immediately run out. Now keep in mind, I'm in like a hotspot area, so uh, I'm running around looking for him, calling. Well, I think in his little brain, he was like, "Okay, I saw him go this way," so he took off in that direction. But my brain was, he was in this area. I know him. He's not gonna leave this area. There's no way. Da da da. Da. Because, like I said, this dog always stayed by my side, which Royal does too. When I'm not, he never like out of the whole family. Like doesn't matter. Once I sit down, he runs to me. Like I'm the alpha, but not intentionally. He just loves me to death. But
that was your fur baby.
yeah, so Blue was the same way. And he went everywhere with me in the truck, and that's just like how we had. I even had a cat that did the same thing that stayed with me all the time. But because my brain is because I watch this shit so much, my brain is triggered to automatically be worried about that. I'm running around the woods instead of I should have been thinking, hey, where's the closest place he's gonna go? Oh, well, there's a Dunkin' Donuts right the road that smells of, food. But instead, my brain, because I watched this stupid stuff so much, it was triggered at the time. This is a lesson that I learned, and it changed a lot for me. And the whole time I'm calling ball, I'm like, dude, and I really was hearing things like where I was out looking for him. I was hearing things like things running around, this and that, which leads me to the supernatural stuff. I think that it was the demonic stuff. But I was
It
hearing
was
something
something trying to draw you away from what you needed to do.
draw me in the opposite direction in the woods. No joke, like opposite direction. And I call my wife. I tell her, da, da, da. She immediately puts a post out. In Illinois, she's all the way in Alabama. She's putting a post out all the way in Illinois. Boom, she's getting his back. Somebody saw that our dog at the Dunkin' Donuts, which is where I should have went if I was in my right mind, not thinking about this stupid stuff. And by the time I get up there, I end up searching the whole neighborhood. Everything happened by the end of it, and by 3 more hours went by. Da, 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 boom! I've been looking all through the neighborhood. I got a load I got to pick up. I find him as I'm about to hit an interstate because I think he knew that I always go towards the interstate every time I leave, and he went that way, and he got hit by a car. But that would have never happened if I would have been thinking normal and not been on this cryptid bull crap in my mind.
And
You know what I mean?
Chase, That's the thing. You're not the only one. You're not the only one who's been lured into it. It's happened time and time again. And all of us can go in there and pray, for God to protect us and our angels to protect us and everything. But when we do go looking for it,
Yeah.
we're opening that door. So, we can ask for protection, but yet we're going into the danger. So,
Mm-hmm. If
and
I was
this isn't just wildlife danger. This is other kind of danger.
it's spiritual, yeah. If I wasn't drawn because of the noises I was hearing, I kept going, and I was on the phone with Vaughn telling him this stuff. I'm like panicked. He
And I
just,
I
kept
know,
telling him, forget that. We
yeah,
need to go back.
but you can't forget it.
No, I kept
Once,
telling him to
once
forget. No, I kept telling him to forget that. We need to go back to the last place
it's
you seen
really
the
hard
blue.
to do when you're
that's
hearing
what
Oh, I know.
things and you're drawn in a direction. And
I can tell you, dude. I'm telling you, like he was telling me, like he kept telling me
I
to go back,
know.
like start from the beginning, start, and I would go back, but I kept like hearing stuff. I kept getting
We kept
distracted.
drawing him. And see,
Hmm.
that's, like I said, I know for people that's watched me before and went, this is a new side of me. Yeah, I'm not the old Vault. Like I said, this woman has helped me. This man here on here that I call my brother has helped me. And like I said, I'm closer to God now, and I have a relationship with God now. And if you don't, I hope you get one. Uh, like I said, there's certain things that no, I will not go and mess with. I don't mess with any kind of spirits because I don't believe there's any good spirits on the down here stuck on earth with us that's trying to communicate with us.
I put it
I
this way: I got out of work early today, and I thought, I could drive by that area and just film out the window. Just
what did
go
I tell you?
slowly.
Just
No, no,
stay away
no.
from there.
But I'm 11 minutes
I know
over the bridge. I can just go film it for tonight for the show. Just stick the phone out the truck.
it's
And
not a good
I
area.
don't I everything about me said I don't want to go
This
there.
man on here will tell you they ain't shit I'm scared of. But if I tell you to stay away from a place, there's a reason why I stay away from a place.
But
And
here's the
Chase,
thing: it's crazy.
every
I
time we
know.
drove by there, it felt bad during
But
the day.
you felt that. I felt that. That's why I felt called to go out there. But here's the thing: it's so crazy. 'Cause people pass by this 24/7, have no freaking idea. They probably felt. Can you imagine how many people probably felt that, and how many people you said passed away in that area?
Oh, it's been over 100 from what I found from the 70s.
So there you go. If I imagine if I hadn't called you and I went out there like a dumbass, I could be in one of those
I,
hundreds.
I got I got one for both of y'all because I hadn't remember this last night when I was going back looking. Do you know the man that supposedly shot Martin Luther King? You know where he met the guy to get the rifle from, right?
In that area?
There used to be another. It was called the. I think it was the. It wasn't the. It turned in from what it was to the Flying J because they got so much negative publicity.
I didn't want to say the spot, but that makes sense, dude. I tell you another thing. There's a I don't know. It can't be just the Flying J's. I'm not gonna say I don't know what's going on with the Flying J's, but
I,
the
I,
most
I,
weirdest, darkest experiences I've ever had in my life, I've been at the Flying J's. And when I say paranormal, there is two probably the most major paranormal experiences I've ever had in my life, to the point where I, traumatizing, was at Flying J's, and it was in Tennessee. Both of them were in Tennessee, two different locations, both of them on a mountain, and one of them, I will say that I think it was the most major one. We're talking about paranormal, right? So
yeah.
the most major one was at a Flying J in Tennessee. I'm not gonna say a location, but it was on top of a mountain hill area. And when I went into the place, there was a guy working there, dressed in all black. I had a very uneasy feeling about this guy, and I really didn't want to I didn't want to go to his register. I was trying to go to the other one, but I was just in line, and it just so happened I had to go to him. And I was so uncomfortable when I went to him, but I was trying to be, I was super nice. Oh, thank you. Trying to be normal, right? But in my mind, I was uncomfortable because, he was, you know, but, but he was darked out and like, it was just so uncomfortable. I felt like a darkness over me when I was like catching up with him. I left and I think it was him, to be honest with you. But when I went to my truck, I did my normal routine. When I laid in my bed, laid down, and I, I always sleep on my back. That's just how I've always been. And for whatever reason, I woke up around that 2 or 3 o'clock area, and I'm uncomfortable. I rolled over on my side, right, and like what you would consider a fetal position to get comfortable. And I'm like, I ain't never said this before, but anyways, before I want to say this because this ties in with the paranormal weird stuff. Now, in my brain, I'm gonna tell you what I think it is afterwards. But when I rolled over, as soon as I started drifting off, I feel something grab both sides of my hips, and I get lifted in that. Like I feel my hips coming up in the air. Hey, I'm not playing, man.
Oh,
I,
I firmly believe you because something.
I'll one up you in just a minute. Finish your story.
Go ahead.
Finish
okay,
your story.
so I feel something grab both sides of my hip, lift my body off the bed. I'm off the bed. I know it. And my first brain goes, "Oh, this feels like assault." And I turn. I mean, normally when people have so I've had sleep paralysis a lot in my life, but I have a very very good power over it. So usually when I go in that sleep paralysis, I can override it very fast because I've had it happen a lot in my life. And it happened. The moment it happened, I realized I'm in it. I can just control it. So I turned to swing. And the moment I turned to swing, I didn't have time to pray or anything. I just turned to swing. And I feel my body, boom, I hit the bed. I feel my whole body hit the bed. Something grabbed me by my hips, and I fell. When I was done, when it happened, and I turned to swing, and I immediately had this such deep feeling of assault, uncomfortableness, uh, whatever you want. I felt via fucking like I was so mad. I was just sitting there, just like heaving, like mad. I'm praying. I start praying. I'm like, I was mad. And right after that happened, as soon as I started praying, I calmed down. But it was dramatic. Well, but I'm gonna finish my other story too. Same near close area. I don't think it's this. I don't think it's the same. I think it's totally different. But I was in a Tennessee area on a hill mountain area at another one of them flying J's, and I've never had any experiences for about a year at that point. Weirdness, and I go to sleep. I suddenly feel this. I wake up. I feel the sleep paralysis. I'm like. I wake up, I'm like, what the hell? I open my eyes and I look, I'm looking. I see from the nose up. So from here up, all I see is eyes, and it's like the creature, that creature,
Yeah,
that
Smeagol.
Mm.
Smeagol.
Smeagol. I see that. And as soon as I can't, it's clear as day, but I can't see from here up. I can't see, I can see from here up. I can't see anything below that. And all I see is a hand, man. Every time it took his hands, it went like this. It started running and crawling up on my
Oh
belly.
God.
It ran at me. And as soon as it starts running at me, I immediately start praying and casting it out. As soon as I get the last words I made in Jesus' name, it went, it shot. I literally saw it get sucked out of my throat. And I'm like, and then I instantly was free. That was like first time I've ever like where I could not move. All I could do was like think and pray. Before that, normally I got control of my body. That
I want
scared
you to listen to. I want you to listen to hers.
me. All right.
Hmm. What?
Because those are rough, Chase. Those are rough.
Yeah, I felt like I got raped. Graped. Sorry,
No, it's all right because
it scared me. That first one scared me.
when you when you've been through demonic attacks like that, they don't. It's a trauma that doesn't go away. There's a there's a there's a part of you that's damaged with every encounter that you have, and yeah, you pray and you pray that it doesn't happen again. You pray when it happens, and you pray for you pray for some type of healing.
It's okay. You're in a safe place.
So Vault and I went to we had to go to when we were going to go to a funeral, and
We went to a funeral.
we were
Hey, you want to just tell me this in private? You sure? I'm serious. Like, just
no, because this is the evil that's out there that other people need.
This is in the. This ain't too. This happened not too far from where I first met you.
okay.
So this is
That place has got
that place is dark.
Well, you know they tore they bulldozed all those woods down and built a restaurant right there.
Bullshit. For real?
No, sir. They built it is a restaurant built there.
So we're right at we're staying.
I can imagine what's going on in that restaurant right now.
So we're staying right across the road in a hotel, and we get to the hotel. We unpack everything. We go out to dinner with his family, and
This is my cousin Jeremy.
we go with Jeremy, and then we go back to the hotel room, and it's late. It's about probably 11 o'clock, I guess, and I don't know how it started, but it just everything was so wrong.
Well, you kept thinking somebody was messing with our room.
Like the room was real super dark, okay, and it wasn't just dark. There was like it looked like there was smoke in the room. I'm just going to talk about it like it's a book.
Well, hold on. We need to get this established. She first thought, like I said, it was somebody messing with our room. Now this is in my hometown. Chase can tell you that this ain't no bull crap or whatever. That would be the most stupidest thing to do is mess with me in that town.
Everybody knows you.
Yeah, they ain't nobody going to that's that stupid. But anyway, and I tell her, I said, this ain't a person. Now you finish.
The funny thing is as I'm trying to recall it, it's chaos is in my head right now.
Because that's what it was.
Everything is just not coming. It's not even coming together in a thought.
It's just 2 o'clock in the morning.
It wasn't 2 o'clock yet.
No, by the time I decided that damn all this, and
the room's real dark. And I turn on all the lights. I go take a shower, and at least in the shower curtain's white, the tiles are white, the light in there's white, so I feel like there's light. So I get done with that, and I go and I sit on the bed, and I'm sitting on the bed, and
you got fully dressed.
The room's just getting smaller and smaller, and it's getting real tight in the room. And then I grab my phone and I put Ratatouille on because that's what I put on when I'm getting ready to have a freak out attack. And it's not helping, and I'm listening to it, and I'm trying to watch it, and I can't focus on it, and I can't really. Ratatouille's not making sense. And right in front of me is this long mirror, so I can see myself sitting on the bed in this little tiny ball, but I can't see myself. There's something
blocking her.
There's something that I grew up with that was there, and
or something like it.
It was back again, and that's all I know is that.
I could feel it. I can feel bad energy. It sounds
Vault
stupid.
is like do you
Well,
want to go? He says, I don't like any of this. Do you want to go? And I'm like, it's over 2 hours one way.
I
It's
don't care.
late.
Paul, this is when you still had your friend, right?
Yeah.
That's what I
So
was telling you.
we went home. I mean, he drove us home, and I got in, I think, probably over almost 2 hours out. I passed out in the truck. I was exhausted. And I know you were exhausted. But
It wasn't
the
about that.
next
I had to
day,
get
I
you
think it
back
was,
where you were safe.
I haven't talked to my mom in years, okay? Because,
That's the great thing about
there's
this.
a lot of stuff that went on in my childhood, and I just hadn't talked to her. I got on the phone. I called my sister the next day and I said, I need mom's number. And my mom's always been big into Jesus and praying. She drug us around from church to church to church. So I called her the next day and I said, Mom, I need your help. And she's like, What do you need? And I said, This thing is back. I said, It's from when I was little, it's back. And she went into prayer and prayed for me, and it left. It was, I can say it was gone when we left because it didn't follow us home,
No.
but it was there. It was there. It was there in that, on that ground, in that room, and it was there. And it wasn't until my mom prayed that I felt, at least I didn't have to think about it for a
I went
while.
out and cleared all the way around that building to make sure that it wasn't a person. See, I don't
No, it
jump.
wasn't a person.
Chase can tell you, I don't jump to the first to paranormal. I don't jump to none of that. I will try to put logic on it to make it make sense before I jump to the unlogical.
Yeah,
Well,
every time when we went out, it was the same way. Like I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Nah, it could be this and this." I'm like, "Nah, I don't know about that."
I believe in Occam's razor. If the simplest answer is usually the best answer. And when there's not a simple answer, okay, now we got to start looking outside of what's normal. And like I said, I don't deal with with the paranormal.
I knew what this was as soon as I saw
Well,
what it was.
all I knew is it was, but I could tell, I can feel. If there's, you ever walked into a room and you feel it'll be 100 people in there, and you can feel there's somebody not right in here. I don't know what it is about them or whatever, and don't care to know. But my senses, she calls it my vault senses. Chase has called it that forever. I don't know what it is, but I don't like being, and I'm not gonna stay there. If I ain't comfortable, I ain't staying. Yeah, I got her up. She was already fully dressed. I told her, I said, just go sit in the truck. I finished packing our room up at 2 o'clock in the morning. We left. I went down there to explain to people that, like I said, my town, everybody in my town knows me. I went down there to the front office, told the guy something's going on down there. I don't know what it is, but y'all need to deal with it. We ain't staying. He immediately refunded our money. What, that following Monday? As soon, this is the crazy thing. Have you ever been to a motel, hotel, whatever you want to call it? It's a nice place. It ain't a rundown place. It's a nice place. As soon as we said, I said, all right, we're leaving. The freaking air conditioner that was going wide open shut off. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to make you as uncomfortable as I can because it's hot as hell.
Mhm.
I told the guy in the front office, I said, your air quit working today. He says, huh? I said, your air quit working. He goes, I'll have maintenance go look. But it went, as soon as I said, go get in the truck, we're leaving. The air shuts off. The TV shut off.
Mhm.
This is before I told the front office we're leaving.
But there's so many places out there that carry so much weight, and there's so much involved in the negativity, or whatever curse has been placed on the land. It holds memory. So when you have churches being built on land, when you have built schools being built on land, and homes, I found out, from my mom that our home that I grew up in was built most likely in a place that shouldn't have been built, that it was a sacred place. And that's why growing up in a home like that, my father was deeply troubled.
Well, that's like, the place that you've been told by multiple of our family members, a church now, they built, there's literally a crossroads, and the church is built on that side of it, and the graveyard was on this side of the road. That church had been built 6 times. All 6 times the church burned. Well, we go out there. This is before I got any sense about me, and I'm trying to do this YouTube thing, and everybody's into everything. Well, we go out to do a paranormal, I guess you call it, because we kept getting these reports of squatches in that area coming up running people out. That's where something mimicked me. And my son and a good friend of mine that ain't here no more, Tank, they were following it because they thought it was me. And Tank, my best friend, almost shot me because I walked up behind him and said, "Where the hell are y'all going?" This man's a combat veteran. He jumps, pulls his weapon, and goes, "How the hell did you get behind us?" I said, "I've been back here the whole time." I said, "I was following y'all." He goes, "No, you were up there." I said, "No, I've been back here." And my son had snapped a picture. He was snapping pictures as he goes along, trying to just catch something.
Funny thing is, I can see Tank drawing on you, and you're just standing there like, "What?
Yeah.
What are you doing?"
I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And
anybody else would have hit the floor.
Yeah. Now you got to understand, Tank looked like the White Hulk. That's how big this dude was. He shot a 60 like I shoot a M4. I said, big old dude. He immediately, I tell you what his sidearm was, a Desert Eagle. And it did not look oversized with him. And he could shoot it one-handed and hit what he was aiming at. Anyway, I said, and we're arguing. Well, my son, Lethal, if he's listening, he can tell you. He comes back here, he's got a picture. The problem was whatever it was that was mimicking me didn't have any, the legs stopped at the knees and it didn't have no feet. And there was nothing in the way. It was a clear picture going right down between the tombstones. And he's got a picture of me, multiple pictures, and it has no legs past the knees. And it was leading them right after I stopped them. We're talking, this huge crash goes off in the woods, the direction this thing was leading them. I told him, I said, "Well, it's time to go, because if it can mimic me well enough to fool my best friend into thinking that it's me, bad things can happen here." Because, like I said, I almost got shot by just walking up behind them asking, "What are y'all doing?" I didn't see it. They did. So, like I said, be careful what you go looking for.
Be careful where you go looking for it.
Yeah.
Be careful what you look at on your phone.
Yeah, because some things are meant to draw you in and get you.
Well, it's also desensitizing. There's so many things out there. I have to take this off so I can hear you. So many things out there that are desensitizing our children, our young people, even us, to where they can ramp things up further and further and further. And, you can see war, you can see boots on the ground, combat people with their body cams, and they could show the footage of them doing, close quarters combat and people dying. And it's just flipping on to the next, reel. I hope we're not all getting desensitized to life.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm empath or whatever. I wouldn't say that.
Not you. You ain't.
I know. It's just from years of being around bad people and being in bad environment, you pick up.
He's got his senses honed very well. His 6th, 7th, 8th sense. He's got senses that we don't have.
I would say also you gotta think you got bloodline connections.
Yeah.
You got bloodline connections. You have your path honed because of everything, and then on top of that, obviously because of the bloodline, you got certain connections that are tapped in. You've been known stuff. You've always known stuff. Your grandfather taught you all these things. It makes sense, man.
That and his
You
ultra training, you
Yeah,
know.
well, yeah, you were out, not to mention what they did to you when you signed up. So
Yeah.
you're tapped in. At the end of the day, you're using that now. Thank the Lord, because when we first met, you're two different people from the day I met you.
Well,
Night
thank
and
you.
day. Nah, it is.
I'm
You know
trying.
that,
I'm trying to be.
bro. You have inspired me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember
Oh,
when we first met, I was trying to like speak this unto you, and
yeah.
then now you impressing me to the point where like, oh shoot, like you got me thinking more about myself because you know what I mean. Because you get to a point where when you walk the path of the Most High God in Christ, sometimes there are times where, like for me, I gather so much knowledge so fast. And I've had conversation with you, so there's knowledge that. Sorry about that. There's knowledge that average people do not have, and uh it's hard to tap into if you don't understand. You read and study, but you haven't never done none of that stuff like I have, and I started hitting you with things, but you started hitting me with stuff that your ancestors were teaching you from your side, and then I was like, wow, that it's very similar. I'm like,
Well,
and I was telling you that you're part of that. You're part of that I was talking about. So
you you you,
therefore,
you know when the change hit me?
hmm,
She can tell you.
oh, I know when it hit you.
Wh-
When Miss Cat, you know what I mean?
when we were in that hospital room after I'd had the fifth stroke, I mean the fifth heart attack and the second stroke, and I was not. I was mad. I was mad, and to
Yeah,
be honest, I didn't know what I was. I didn't know who I was mad at. Why I was mad. I was just mad at the world. And Kat started praying with me, and she started singing, and
I remember
this
that. Yeah,
this piece, literally, it felt like it came over from the top of my head and went down. I'm laying in a hospital bed. Now remember, I've done through a damn fit now, to the point where they called 4 armed guards on me, and I've done had 2 strokes.
yeah.
And I'm laying in that bed, and Kat looked at me and she said, "I got it." I said, "I'm not worried. You can let them in or whatever." I said, "I never got out of the bed." She'll tell you.
But
She
this
went out.
happened. Hold on, real quick. This happened before you ever got to that spot. Like things were moving upon you, and when all this happened, this is the moment that it clicked for you. But I was seeing changes way before because I knew the old vault, and that dude I knew before. We got to like I'm telling you, like, cause me and you always kept up over time. But once a month or so, we talk, whatever. But dude, I saw that change. It was right. It was right after that moment we had this conversation. Same thing, story you're telling. This happened, but it was like, and when I was I was like understanding and speaking life into you. And then, I know all the other stuff too that I can be like, yeah, I know this man switched over. He's on the path. But yo, Cat played dude, from the beginning. Dude, I swear to God, I'm playing a hell of a testimony right now for you. Cat, from the beginning, that's why I know she's like an angel for you.
She is.
I ain't even playing, bro. Like
She
when I
is.
say that everything was ordained from the moment you were born to where you are right now, Cat was ordained to be in your life, and the patience that woman showed.
Y'all have no idea. Y'all have
Yo,
no idea.
yo,
Because
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling
yeah,
you,
you ain't got no
look,
clue. Unless you know him, you don't got no clue, bro. The
look,
Patriots, like, and it's so much that even I ain't even gonna lie. In the beginning, even I was like, "Yo, cat crazy." I was like, "Cat out her mind, bro." I was like, "What is wrong with her?" Yo, and I'm over here on your side, like da 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 da. And then I had no idea. And then all of a sudden, it's like, yo, after like everything that you had went through, and then
Yeah.
me and you had that talk. I'm like, I'm an idiot because and then when you told me all that, I look back on every conversation I ever had with her, or even like if you or the where she was at when she was talking and the thing and this and that. And, dude, I look back and I'm like, that's the most peaceful, kindest lady I've ever met.
She
I've
is.
never seen her say anything negative. It was always kind of positive, but it was like the devil was twisting things, and it was chaos, dude. Even I was like, yo, I had my mind thought in one direction, but it's like, yo, Kat was like, if you ever go back and look at everything, I've never seen her say
Well,
anything negative. It was
well,
all
think
peace,
about it.
love, and kind.
I was not on a good path. I was not a
No,
good person to
no,
be.
you wasn't. You was a piece of shit, but I love you.
Aw.
Well, he's being honest. I
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
mean,
you was.
evil.
You was. But you were honorable. Here's the thing. You might have been like you was that, but at the end of the day, dude, you were the most honorable person I've ever met in my life. You were about right and wrong, and that's all that ever mattered. If anybody ever did anything wrong, you better not have a bad side on involved. But if you were doing right, he would loved you with all his heart. Most kindest person I ever met. That's how he was.
Well, thank you. And I, when you start down the path that is God, that first part of that road is very rocky.
Yeah.
It's very narrow, and the devil and all his proceedings will try to do everything that they can to pull you off that path. Because see,
Absolutely.
the devil lost a great ally when he
Yeah.
lost me.
I said that. Yep. Yeah.
Because one of my verses, when somebody would wrong me, I would tell them, "You have no idea. I will make the devil blush. The devil doesn't even want me."
Bro,
So,
you would tell me a story, just you in a grocery parking lot. I would be like, you did what? What? And then my brain tells me if I did that, I'd be in jail. I'd be dead, like bad
well,
stuff. And I'm like, what? How's
the
that
first
happen?
time I'm, the first time I met him, we're in a parking lot full of people. And he's wanting to learn a certain move, and I'm trying to. I said, "Hold on a second." I reach in the back of my vehicle and I start pulling out guns, and
Yeah.
I'm having him point guns and stuff. There's people all around. They don't. You can ask him. Y'all think
Oh,
I'm
they
joking?
ignored it.
Nobody.
They walked
Everybody
away.
ignored it. They just left it alone.
They
As
know
soon as
him.
they saw who it was, they left it alone.
Yeah.
Chase's like, "Man, we're gonna get the cops called on us."
Yeah.
I said, "No, they're not. I know who all's on duty." Uh,
I was done, man. I was so like, oh, I want to learn this. And he's showing me stuff. And then, but, I would say like through all this, I was like, yo, because at the end of the day, I was also thinking I was testing him too. That's it. But yo, he's the truth. And then he took me out. But it was more so at the end of the day, even though this is the old vault, bro, he treated me with love and kindness. And at the end of the day, like he
watch this.
never.
You don't know this. What have I always referred to this man as?
Little brother.
My
Yeah,
little brother.
Hmm.
Like
yeah.
I said, I remember. Look, I remember. This is brings tears to my eyes. I remember the day you called me and told me you'd lost your dad.
That's
And
what connected.
dude,
That was serious. You were a big help in that in my life for real.
I remember when you
Mhm.
called and told me you couldn't find your boy. I
Oh,
dropped
yeah. Woo.
everything,
I
and
have him today because of you. I wouldn't.
no,
Seriously.
you have him because of what you done.
Well, yeah. I mean, I push,
You
but
have him because
You're a dad.
you're a
you made
dad.
a change. Like,
You
yeah.
decided to take on that responsibility. And y'all, this man even took responsibility for a child that wasn't even his,
Hmm.
to make sure it was safe.
Yeah.
You flipped
That's
the
a
script.
real man. Like I said, so I remember that. But see, to me, a lot of people bring it. I'm like, yeah, I was part of it. I was just there. I didn't. To me, I didn't do anything
I put,
special except for to help you as much as I could. And
hey,
to
hold on. Let me put it this way. Let's say, all right, I'm gonna use this vault and the old vault. So old vault, that was a dark, evil son of a bitch. That honestly, if you ever crossed him, you would regret it. But at the same time, you would never know that. But because when I first met Vault, I was like, all right, all these stories I heard, I'm looking at him like, all right, well, but I got talking to him. Okay, it all started clicking with me because uh the what he was what he was born for and how he was created is like not the same. It's night and day. Like, but when when he met Kat after that, it was like, dude, this ain't even the same person I'm talking to. It was shortly after. Like, granted, in the beginning, it was like some of it, but it was different. It was like snapped instantly. So it was like, dude, we're having conversations about Christ. We're having conversations about, like, I'm telling him all this deep stuff. And when he was the old vault, I used to teach him and tell him all this stuff. I was like ministering to him in my way. And he would like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I can understand it. We would debate and go back and forth. But it was
that's
like,
how
I
you
always
learn,
knew.
though.
Yeah,
That's
but
how you learn.
yeah, it is how you learn. But I always knew there was something there with him. I always know there was a dark path, like, because, but at the end of the day, even though you have that darkness, at the end of the day, your demeanor and everything you live by, your code, and I'm telling you this, I experienced it. Your code is love, and your code was always like right and wrong. And if wrong, God forbid, Lord, God forbid,
Well,
you
I
wrong
still
this
live by
man.
that code. I do things
Yeah, but it's not the
differently
same. No,
now.
it's not the same, bro. Even if somebody to this day, I'm gonna say, like, if somebody like wrongs you or whatever, it's different. Now it's like you like you have passion and talk to them. And it's different, bro. It's different. It's not the same. Now, if life and death, that's a different story. But it's not like what you used to be. It's different, dude.
No, it is.
Night and
But
day.
I learned everything's not a nail, and I'm not the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
and I have Kat to thank for that. I have you to thank for
Absolutely.
that. Look, y'all, when I called him and told him, Kat first, me and her talked, and she said, if you want to do YouTube again, you do YouTube. I called Chase and told him, he's like, I don't know if you should do that or not
Nah, leave that
because
alone. You on a
I,
good path. Don't do that.
yeah, he's like, if things start going like it did, I don't want you to go. I said, no, it's not going to happen. That's not going to control me. I have a plan, and my plan and my mission is to do exactly what we're doing here tonight.
Yeah,
Is inform people. There are dark. Look, yeah, there's cryptids out there, flesh and blood things. There's also other things out there that can corrupt men and can lead you down astray. Like I said, these three boys that were brutally murdered, their murders went unanswered because men got corrupted and it was all about greed and what they could get out of it and best themselves. If I'm wrong, show me and tell me where I'm wrong because the three boys that they convicted, one of them they tried to kill, did not do it. But yet the person that did do it
Or
are
persons
persons. I believe it was persons.
got away
How many
got away with
more
it.
innocent lives
Mhm.
did they shatter? How many more innocents did they take before something happened to them? All because men would not step out of the way, get out of the way of their own ego and everything. Say, okay, we screwed up. Let's look at this again. Let's find who took these innocent babies and did the things that they did to them and make them pay.
I also want to point out too that in these poorer areas and these where
Yeah.
a lot of missing people
Yeah.
occur, where a lot of murders occur, a lot of crime. There's poverty, there's drugs, there's alcoholism. When you start getting involved with drugs, alcohol, you lose your senses and you open yourself up, even to the point where you have to be careful when you. I know we all can't do this, but when we go get treated surgically and then we have pain medication that goes home with us, when
Okay.
you're under a controlled substance, even with its 1 dose or 2 doses,
It's meant to dull your senses so you get lax, so you're
it opens
easily.
it opens you up.
Listen, it opens a portal.
It does. And
Yeah.
I understand that, portal, that term is kind of like,
Yeah,
just
it's
shake it
weird,
off.
but that's what it does.
It does.
You're inviting evil into yourself
Yeah,
But
by
you
lowering
but
your
you can't,
expectations.
and you can't really stop it. It's
You remember-
coming.
You remember when you seen that video of Scott Carpenter in the background where that portal opened up?
Mhm.
It's the same thing, but it's inside your soul. It's spiritual. It taps into
You're
you.
opening it. You dulled your senses down to the point where you're just like, okay,
Something
and
can enter you and
It
act
can.
through you.
And listen, and they call and I'm a victim of this. I'm highly a victim of this. I have a very good control of that in my mind, I think. But like, I don't ever try to get drunk. But at the end of the day, like, dude, you drink alcohol. If you get drunk, if you ever black out, you open the portal and you're not you. Something's controlling you. If you ever say, I don't remember what happened, something took over you.
And something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like I said,
That's why you see a lot of, and I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. And there's nothing that I feel helpless about it on our reservations. Our
Absolutely.
native
Oh my God.
people,
Yeah.
our indigenous people, our Native
Yeah.
Americans, the different tribes, they're all getting decimated with drugs and alcoholism.
But here's the thing: the elders, they all know this, and they're begging the younger generation, telling them this, but because they're looking
the
at it,
older ones are dying off, and
they're dying off. But the ones that
newer
are living,
ones are. Somebody's coming along, putting money in their pocket. Hey, look,
yeah,
you do this, and this, and you won't have to struggle and worry no more.
man, they've been doing that since 1920. They just escalate. Now it's to the point where everybody's seeing it. They've been doing it from the beginning when they started to put them in the schools. Remember when they started putting them in the schools and beating them? It was the same thing.
Yep.
They beat the culture out of them.
Yeah.
They've tried to beat the spirit out of them.
Yeah, but it did, but it didn't work.
No, you had
It worked
some
on few, but not many. It's strong still today.
You had
It's
ones
still
like
strong.
my kinfolk Geronimo that decided, his spirit was so strong and he was so connected with the higher power, the great creator is what he called them, or what he called him. I misspoke there.
Well, the Most High and the Great Creator sounds a lot alike to me.
Yeah,
Same ones.
yeah, that I'm talking about. He had a vision that said, "No white man's bullet, nor arrow or spear from them will hurt him." The only reason he stopped was because the love he had for his people. That was what got him. It wasn't he would have kept going until he died.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was about his people. And it goes back to after I didn't know as much until we dove into this West Memphis 3, how bad the corruption was. And like I said, you know me with kids. When it comes to kids, there's no boundary I won't go. To bring a child, to make sure a child is safe. Nobody to this day has stood up for those 3 babies. And done anything. Everything has been covered up, and no, and that's why I wanted to do this is talk about the corruption. Because, like I said, I praised. Now you need to understand. I used to be an officer. For the ones that don't know, I've been in law enforcement, some sort of factor or whatever, most of my life, or close to it. I ain't going
Hey,
into that, but
hey, brother, real quick. I'm so sorry. I have to go. I gotta go eat and I gotta go to bed.
Thanks for coming on,
man,
Cade.
thank
Yeah,
you, brother, for being here, and thank you.
yeah,
Look, y'all, I called him early the part of the week and talked to him, but I
mhm,
didn't know if he was going to be here or not. Thank you, brother, for
yeah.
being here, and
And
thank you for
I love
everything
you,
that
and
you
it's good
said.
to
You're
see.
welcome. Yeah.
And you give your cute little twin a kiss for us, you know.
All right. Yeah, listen, I love you guys, and I wish I could stay longer. I want to. I've already pushed it too far. Everybody's turning the lights off, and I still gotta go eat. I gotta go
Oh,
to
yeah.
bed.
Yeah. Well, you got to go to work tomorrow too, don't you?
Oh yeah, at 4 a.m. Yeah, yeah. I got it. Love you
Oh, my
All right,
God.
go get some sleep, brother.
All right,
Good
bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Y'all, thanks. Like I said, yeah, that's a man I call my little brother. Uh, he's helped me as much as I've helped him over the years by just talking and trying to figure things out. And I love he's not no boy, but I'm sorry. To me, he's my little brother. He is much of a man, and like I said, when it came time for him to step up and do stuff, he is he has been there and he has done it. Thank you for being my brother. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for coming tonight. But like I said, that's the reason why I wanted to do this show is multiple different reasons. First, to give those little boys a voice once again. It probably won't help, but it's damn sure not going to hurt.
Because
Also,
there were 6 victims.
yeah, there were 6 victims.
The little ones who died, and the little ones who lost their entire 18 years of their lives, the best years of their lives in prison, who were raped in prison.
Brutalized in prison
These
for
were
something they didn't do.
children who were innocent.
And still, and you need to understand when you see the very end of this documentary, I'm telling y'all to go watch. It is
Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost.
It's a three episodes.
Yeah, you need to understand.
There's I would highly recommend those.
The HBO version. Make
Mhm.
sure you watch that
Well,
because that's the true one.
yeah.
You need to understand. One of these boys, the youngest one, all the stuff that happened to him in prison, he wanted his name cleared. And when it came down to it, he said, "Look," I said, "You can go watch this." He said, "The reason why I decided to stop fighting this and to take this deal that they call a deal, I don't think it's very much of a deal, is because they're going to kill Damien. They're going to murder him
By lethal injection.
just like those other little boys got killed. He'll be another victim."
Mhm.
And he said, "I can't be part of that. So this is why I'm doing this." Now, you tell me any killer wouldn't do that.
No.
Like I said, they were persecuted and stuff because they were stupid teenage kids doing stupid teenage things because they walked around with Metallica t-shirts and black
There's
fingernails
nothing
and
stupid
weird
about
hair.
that. There's nothing stupid about being different.
Well, I'm just
wearing
saying
black
because
or-
they said that made them a certain way, and that's just kids figuring out who they are.
yeah.
You know how you learn something is a mistake when you do it, and you learn, okay, it's a mistake, and you don't do it again.
Yeah. But they didn't make any mistakes. They were targeted.
Oh, I
There's
know
no
what I'm
doubt.
saying. What I mean by mistake is the way they were presenting themselves. But you got to understand, these boys were raised in some of the poorest environments. I'm talking about. They hung out
Some of them
and
didn't have dads. Some of them didn't have moms. They would come and go. Their parents were on drugs. Sometimes they weren't even employed.
they didn't
lived
know
in
where. Well,
severe
like Damien said,
poverty.
I didn't know. Me and my friends at night would get together and figure out who had enough food for all three of us to eat. That's the kind of environment.
Mhm.
So, and the cops,
They took
the
advantage of that.
yeah, they took it back. They didn't think anything. Nobody would fight back. Everybody would go along with it. And I'm talking about even the neighborhood where these boys live got pissed off because several of them said there's no way they did it because they were here. We seen them.
But then you had the whole church.
That was involved with where the little
They
boy.
were being told that it was a satanic thing. So then the whole congregation, which is the whole community, went in this direction, and everything was lost.
Like I said, that's
Paradise
how
lost,
easy.
I guess.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how easy it is, though.
That's how easy it is.
Most people are lemmings. Don't be a lemming. It's okay not to agree. Look, don't agree with me. Go watch, go do the research, and you pick your own opinion. But I'll be willing to bet you it's going to make you mad when you watch this and when you dig into it and figure out what actually happened. Because it makes no sense.
No, it does make no sense. But at the same time, too, and I understand that, we're doing a show and we're giving, our opinions, and we're saying do the research on your own. But I also want to say to people, put your phone down. Put your phone down, because honestly,
That's the modern day devil right there.
this thing here is we each have one. Our children have them. Everyone walks around looking at them all the time. We are so connected with these that we lost connection with each other and with nature and with animals.
Well,
we don't even enjoy music the same way as we used to when we were growing up. And I'm going to say that because, yeah, I'm at that age where I was raised without one of these. I was raised where I went outside looking for bugs. I was digging around and getting dirty. And
where I grew up, I don't think still one of these damn things will work where I grew up because it's
no, they won't work where you grew up because there's no cell towers up there. But put your phone down. Don't scroll all the time, but just to challenge yourself for a month. Just challenge yourself for a month to leave it and walk away from it, because some of y'all probably don't remember landlines.
I remember party lines
when we didn't have these, and you had a phone that you'd have to pick up and say hello. You could actually go drive in your car and you could go somewhere and you didn't have a phone for hours. You were with your friends.
Sit down and talk to somebody.
Yes, or you could just go shopping and you didn't have your phone bothering you. You would actually look around and see people and be like, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? And you would meet someone. This technology, we think AI is going to take over the world. It's really not going to take over the world, but what it's going to do is it's going to dumb us down. It's going to take away
us down.
It's going to diminish our numbers, because procreation really isn't going to happen too much, because what's happening with our young people right now is not procreation. They either don't know what sex they are, or they're promiscuous, and I don't even know what's going on. I don't see a lot of couples. I don't see a lot of intimacy between couples as far as the love and the compassion for each other.
Do you know how bad that makes people uncomfortable?
And I don't mean intimacy like I want to see them being intimate. I just don't see. To me, I can be intimate with you just by touching you.
Yeah.
Just by looking at you.
But that creeps most people out now because they're not used to it. But they can see it on their phone.
Put your phone down. Just try and challenge yourself to do that.
My phone is, I don't have it where I can get it. But this is what she's talking about, y'all. Do y'all realize? I didn't realize this. I just swapped over to the Apple side of things. I'm sitting here. Larry right here is in chat. He will tell you, because I'm trying to get the show ready. My phone is nowhere around me. I'm on my MacBook. That's what I run the show with. All of a sudden, my MacBook rings, and I'm like, huh? And I look, and it come up over here, and it had the little red and the green thing for an answer, and so I hit it. I start talking to Larry like I'm on my phone through my MacBook, and my phone is upstairs. So everything is fixed where you have to stay connected and everything. Windows is not as bad. Macs, everything is connected with everything. Everything. Like I said, and I didn't really, I'm like, what the? I did not know that would even do that. I've been teaching myself the whole Apple system. It's different. I do like it, and it is helpful for a lot of the stuff that I do. I showed her. Did y'all like that song that I did for the first? I did that. It took me a couple of hours. I've done got really good at doing it now, and that's AI that did that did that. Now I was just like a lot of other people. AI is evil, bad.
There are a
Th-
lot of parts of it that are.
there are also a lot of parts that help out. The problem is there's more bad than good.
The problem is too is that they show you the AI that helps you,
But they don't
It's,
show
it's
you the
look over
one.
here.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
look
the
over
magic
here.
trick.
Right. So
So, like I said, now
that's like having. I'm gonna go here for just a second. That's like having Anthony Fauci. What is he pleading now? Oh, he's pleading the fifth on everything. As the director, the head of the CDC during the worst
you can't.
time in our lives, basically, and what traumatized our children, and what most of our society cannot even come back from. And he was in charge of it, and he had
Gotta be
information. I'm
careful.
just saying he had
I understand
information
what you're saying, but you need to be careful.
before the public knew that he knew about laboratories in other countries, and he's pleading the fifth on everything. What is it that they don't want us to know?
A bunch.
Look over here. Now, is he the scapegoat for everything? I don't know. Are they going to finally let some of the stuff come out? I don't know.
Yeah, after all of us are dead.
Or severely maimed or disabled.
And that's happened, and you can't convince me otherwise. I have proof of it. My ex, one of them, I said, we're going to get off this topic because
I'm
this,
just saying that
well, this will get the channel completely shut down.
I'm not, I didn't say any of it. I'm just saying
I
his
understand, but you
name.
don't have to. It's AI stuff that there are AI bots that go
I know.
over.
They'll take away stuff like that, but they won't take down a man who's cutting himself all over the place for 30
But it's
minutes on TikTok.
But see, this is the thing. It's going to be somebody else's fault. It's not going to be. That's the thing. Nobody can take responsibility for anything they do anymore. It's somebody else's fault. You know, if it wasn't for this or if it wasn't for that, we've been programmed to do that. I said, I don't. You know,
It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all. And the thing that I pray for is discernment and knowledge and wisdom. And I know, wisdom and knowledge come with age, but discernment and the ability to see the truth. I pray for that. I pray for that guidance.
You know, when we were watching that documentary, because it was shot, like I said, it was shot back in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting and watching it, and one of the things that I realized, I'm thinking, I wish I could go back to that era in that year, just because I miss the simpleness, I miss the ease in.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
It doesn't until you start adding it up.
It in years, it's not that long ago. in technology leaps and bounds, it's eons ago.
Well, look at what's happening in the vehicle market. And people didn't realize, I did not realize. I have an old a 76 truck that I'm redoing myself, and we've named it the Crow. You know what I'm having a problem with is because, do y'all remember the junkers? I mean the clunkers for cash and all that. I didn't realize then what they were doing. You cannot hardly find parts for any 80s model vehicle and back anywhere because they crushed them, turned them into nothing, and there's no parts. So it's hard to find parts. Now they're starting to do that with the older vehicles because these new ones in 2027, they all have to have forward facing cameras looking at you because it doesn't like the way your eyes look or you look mad. It'll shut your vehicle down, won't let you go anywhere. Do you think that's not going to stress me more? So there's already people talking about how they're going to get away with it by taking drugs and stuff to make themselves look. What the hell? There were several automotive companies that went to Trump and said, "Look, we don't want people working on their own. Just because they buy it, don't mean it's theirs. We don't want them working on their own vehicle. We want them to bring it back to us. That's how we're going to make our money. We don't make the money selling the vehicle. We make the money because we charge them to work on it. We charge $300 to put a headlight in. And people are still just going on with the program. These people in Congress that in the Senate that push these bills through, hide legislature and stuff. We just keep, they call them a lifetime. Once they get on the Senate or Congress, they're there until they die.
Mm-hmm.
Because who's going to run against them? They went into office as a blue collar person, and now they're millionaires. You show me one on the Senate or Congress that is not a millionaire, and I've got a good friend that is
billionaires,
a senator.
It's more than millions.
Yeah, so I'm not talking at the side of my mouth. I'm telling you, I watched a man grow up that I went hunting with and everything else. He went from a 3-bedroom, what I consider a nice house, to a freaking mansion now. You 900. Oh, 900. You had to put brake shoes on a damn car. Hell, that ain't counting the little Toyota we have. They wanted $90 for the front brakes.
Why is talking about Fauci going to get us in trouble?
Huh?
Why is talking about Fauci going to get me in trouble on YouTube?
Because they're blocking stuff. They're censoring stuff. Just by saying that name,
they're putting it all over every news channel out there.
I'm telling you. You mentioned that's just like when people would talk about the stick. To this day, if you still mention that, remember I got hit on here because we talked about it one night for missed medical information.
Even if we're not monetized,
it doesn't
we can't talk
matter.
About it.
It doesn't. There's people that have gotten their channels permanently deleted.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that just. Oh yeah, it pisses people off, but that's why you have big YouTubers that are leaving this and going somewhere else. And the only reason we're not doing the whole what the hell's the name of the Patreon right this second is we're waiting for some other equipment to come in because the stuff that we're wanting to do. You see this background that she has built for me?
Where is free speech allowed?
What? Yeah. What the hell you do? Free?
Where is free speech allowed?
it's allowed whenever you can.
On what news? On what
None.
on what platform?
None.
So
That's just like the people that go around doing the audit stuff that are not actually breaking the law and they get locked up for filming in public and stuff.
So would I have to start my own platform? Would I have to make my own Twitter?
Then you'll be sued.
Well,
Look at what has happened to Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson.
they're still talking.
Yeah, but they got the money. They got the money. They're being sued right now. Look at what what we were talking about a while ago. This was one of the dumbest things. One of the stepfathers that was people started accusing. You remember this? Do y'all know who the Dixie Chicks are? He actually put a lawsuit on the Dixie Chicks for their own comments. They didn't actually say that he done anything except for they asked the cops why they didn't go investigate him. He sued them. Remember?
Well, he sued them, but
He lost. But
no, what happened was it opened him up for deposition.
And
so when they started to depose him, he had to answer questions.
He didn't think of that.
He was implicated in those murders.
Yeah, I'm talking about nothing ever happened. But yeah, he tried to sue the Dixie Chicks. This is back when the Dixie Chicks were at their height.
He lost.
Yeah, he lost because the Dixie Chicks then started in with the West Memphis 3. They started doing shows and getting people to donate and everything. And that's what I'm saying. It is so easy to sue someone now. It is stupid as shit. Everything is sue crazy. There's other YouTubers suing YouTubers right now because they didn't like a show that they did.
Well, one of the places you can go watch kind of free speech, and he does have a channel, is David Nino Rodriguez.
I like him.
I would say go see Nino's Corner. Nino's Corner TV.
Now he was a professional fighter.
Yes.
He's a good dude. He's really intelligent, and if he doesn't know, he brings somebody on to try to educate him.
Yes.
I like him a lot. He's even brought on. He'll bring on the guy that he brought on not too long ago. He has a new cryptic YouTube channel.
Oh yeah,
Maximum
Fear.
Fear. Go watch him.
I told you he brought on Steve from How to Hunt.
Yeah.
I think he brought on L.A. Marzulli. I think he brought on quite a few different people, but he's political. He's involved with big people. He gets information before we get information. He's been given good information for a long time. David Nino Rodriguez. Nino's Corner TV. At least there he can talk and he's got free speech.
I did too, but I didn't know it because I told her I felt like I was the richest kid. I didn't realize, didn't know. And I don't know if that's because my grandparents, I don't think they were trying to keep it from me. What other people thought was poor, I thought I was the richest kid. Look, I had hundreds and hundreds of acres to go out and adventure and play on and do all kinds of dumb things. And what? I like Tennessee too. I'm a born Mississippi boy. I'm just a country boy. I like things simple, and I'm the world's worst of engineering things to fit what I need. If y'all only seen half the stuff I've come up with the engineer, and I've never had someone else fix anything for me. That's like building all this. What I didn't know, you can ask her. I would stay up all night to teach myself how to do something. I like learning, but I don't like sitting still either. I drive her nuts a lot of the time.
No, you don't.
Because in something simple, like I said, if y'all only seen how we got this going, and like I said, we have a screen here. Hold on, you can see there's a screen right there. There's a MacBook. There's a Windows unit sitting right here.
There's that screen over there.
Yeah, and then
80-inch screen.
A what?
How big is it? 60?
It's 65
That's
inch
huge.
screen.
Yeah.
You know, I had to have something because I had bad eyes.
Mhm.
See, I only have to have glasses to see like up close now. I got those eagle eyes back again for out there, and that's like Miss Crystal, my sister. Like I said, she grew up on a horse farm. Like I said, where you grew up, she had orange grove trees and everything. You know what I'm talking about?
We had orange groves all around us.
Yeah.
Dead end road.
And you went out, you left the house in the morning after you got dressed and did whatever you had to do, and you went out and played until it started to get dark, and then you came home.
Yep.
Kids don't do that now.
The only time I watched TV was on Saturday morning for the cartoons, a couple hours, and that's it. And then we're back outside. And then on Saturday night was the Mutual of Omaha. Was it Saturday night or Sunday night?
Well, we didn't have that. We had
the Mutual of Omaha.
Yeah, but our Mutual of Omaha would come on during it was Sunday.
Was it Sunday?
Right after the church programs. And then on Saturday, we had the creature features.
Creature feature on Saturday morning.
Do any of y'all remember the Leetco commercials and the Leetco show? They put on all these. Look, I can remember sitting there in the wintertime watching the Westerns with my granddaddy.
Well, see, but they had local commercials. So wasn't that a local commercial?
It wasn't a commercial. They actually paid for like 6 hours worth of TV time, and they would put on whatever they put on. They were a siding company. Does anybody remember the Leetco siding? They were around back in I think early 90s to maybe the beginning of 2000s.
You'd have to show me a commercial.
But we had the creature features, and look, when I grew up, we had Channel 9, Channel 6, and Channel 2.
You're gonna give away your age.
Oh, then as I got older, in my teens, we got Channel 4. I would have to go to town to my Aunt Brenda's house and my cousins, and they had cable, and I thought, oh my God, they got like 30 channels. What the hell?
I used to go over to my friend's house because they had MTV.
Oh, that's where I got to see MTV.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't like that little fucking talking head dude.
Max Headroom.
Yeah, Max. There's something wrong with that.
Sting sing that I Want My MTV thing? Ugh.
Yep.
And I used to think I liked the Police a little bit. And
I did like the play. I didn't like Sting.
What was that? Give me a Police song.
Oh, shit. I don't know. I didn't listen to them.
But you just said you liked the Police.
I did, but I didn't like them that much because Sting.
Yeah, I know. He's annoying, isn't he?
Yeah. I like their music. As soon as he would start singing, nope, got to change it.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh.
See, I listen to Metallica. Now this is weird. I listen to country. I listen to Metallica. I listen to Slayer. I was a big Poison fan.
I liked Poison.
I listened to Slash and them.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
I listened to Guns N' Roses.
Van Halen.
I listened to Van Halen and Van Hagar. I'm gonna tell you something. Eddie Van Halen, the only person that was better on a damn guitar was Jimi Hendrix. And this is the funny thing. I can remember BB King. Y'all got to understand the people I grew up around. Like I grew up around BB King. I sit in his lap when I was little Billy, trying to hold on to Lucille and thought I was doing something. My granddaddy, BB, Hambone, all of them would be on the front porch. I didn't realize. See, I grew up around men like that, and I can remember BB getting on Lucille and playing Jimi Hendrix, strumming Jimi Hendrix. And he said, this right here is where I got the beat for the, and then all of a sudden he broke into Strawberry Hill. Like I said, it was stuff like it. Like, but they don't do that no more. Think about it. When's the last time y'all had a block party?
But music now is all just made up computer crap.
Yeah, well, look, I'm a music artist apparently now because
AI can create your freaking music. No one has to play anymore.
you watched me make the music for Friday Night Lives.
You don't even have to have a band anymore.
What did I do? I got on there and told it, okay, I want you to do this, this, and this. I want this instrument.
It can mimic any instrumentalist, any artist. It can mimic all of them. AI can do that, and that is a really bad thing.
And this is the thing. All you've got to do is give it. Now, you have to be specific with your instructions, and you have to write the lyrics. Have you heard the new one yet, Chase?
Hold on. No, he's made really good music.
Hold on. I for the ones that are here now that didn't get to hear it earlier, I'm going to show y'all now. It took me about 4 hours to come up with this. Now I wrote this. I want y'all to listen. You tell me what you think. If you like it, leave me a 1 in chat.
Yeah. Friday Night Live. Yeah. On a Friday night, when the moon is high, cat and vault keeper see the shadows pass by. From true crime tales to the legends we revive, it's time for the chills on Friday Night Live. Aliens and demons, monsters in the night, Bigfoot and skinwalkers creeping out of sight. From cases of true crime to the creatures that arrive, you'll find it all on Friday Night Live. Through unsolved mysteries and the hush of the trees, cat and vault keepers share the tales with ease. From the eerie and bizarre to the cases still alive, they light up the dark on Friday Night Live. So when night falls and the stories arrive, cat and vault keeper bring you Friday Night Live, 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 live.
Now, this is the thing, y'all. That's my voice singing that, but I can't carry a tune more than you can carry water in a colander. But
AI did it.
Like I said, I used my voice and did that. I'm fixing to do one with. I'm gonna get her to do it and use her voice. But like I said that.
Oh, we too cute. Thank you, Chase.
What'd he say?
He said we look too cute. Oh, we're so cute.
But like I said, that took me about 4 hours. The first time it took me about 16 hours to do one. Now that I understand it,
getting better.
But like I said, I use y'all.
You can put an album together. You know that.
That's what I'm thinking about doing. That's like the 3rd or 4th song I did. I'm thinking about putting that out. And one of the things that I'm gonna do over on Patreon is put those. You can download that music
right after you write the next O'Connor journal.
Please. I'm getting that. Hey y'all. The other thing, she had so much fun reading O'Connor. She is fixing to do a tryout with Audible. Yeah, Audible.
Audible.
And to do some other readings and stuff. That's another reason we're changing up some of the stuff we're doing. That way it sounds better. It helps her because she doesn't think she sounds good. And to me, she sounds like a freaking angel. She made the book good the way she read it.
Well, thank you. But I want to get better.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. it's always a good thing that you want to be better. You want to be better. And by the way, a shout out to Cam over at Dixie Cryptid. I heard a little rumor that he's got his channel back. He worked everything out with YouTube and he's coming back. I can't wait for another Steve Lilly. I like Steve Lilly.
Yeah.
That was one of the inspirations to get me to write the O'Connor series.
Dixie Cryptid.
And thank you, Cam.
Mm.
I am. I've been busier in a one-legged man and ass kicking contest the last week, and I hadn't still got anything done. I've wound up rearranging everything back there. I'm talking about up until just a while ago, we're rearranging pictures and moving stuff. Because I'm wanting a more professional look. I want to give y'all the best show I can give y'all, hopefully to entertain y'all. I know it's a little different than what we usually do, and please bear with me. They're going to get even better. I felt passionate about wanting to do this show tonight because I, I, I firmly believe I've seen it. There's true evil out there. In some places you go, it's in the ground. It's so much evil has happened, it's in the ground. And if you hang around those places, you go to those places, and you're not right with God, I don't know what will happen to you. And I don't suggest if I tell you a place is just truly evil, you need to stay away from there. I'm not telling you that to scare you, whatever. I'm trying to help you and save you. Because like I said, if I go looking for big hairy monsters, I would rather deal with that than a demon because I don't have a gun, a knife, and I can keep my own pretty much with anybody that wants to go toe to toe. But I can't do shit with a demon without God. And I know where I'm going when I pass on.
And Chase is right. See, and if you're not in the right, and if you're not right with God, those things will follow you home. And
bring it into your family.
But even when you are right with God, right now, and I know people have said this for a long time, but right now everything is kind of ramping up. Evil, there's a lot more evil now in the world than there was, a couple decades ago. I think it's been in the world, but it seems to be ramping up. And
because the devil's playing that great trick, he's trying to convince people he doesn't exist.
But he's coming forward more.
Yeah, because he's not
more forward.
Because there's not enough Christians out there that are willing to stand up and fight against it and say, no, this is wrong.
Yeah, you have to, but you always have to be in prayer. You always have to protect yourself.
Angel. Good night.
Protect your family. Put a hedge of protection around your home before you go to sleep. Protect your thoughts, your dreams. Just always be in prayer. It's never too much.
He's right about that. Like I said, this young man has an old mind, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And
so Chase is saying, yes, they will. The veil is thin, and if you are right with God and you slip up once, you are vulnerable. Yeah.
See, I have the unfortunate. I was a heathen for a lot of years. Before I became Christian, I was pagan. I think anybody that's here now that used to know me, and I was not. I told everybody I was forthcoming with it. I didn't realize I was a heathen then, but I've seen the other side, and see, there's a holiday coming up that specifically is towards evil, that is towards the negativity, and it's looking for fresh batteries. And what I mean by that is people are their batteries. You understand? These things have no power. They're not like God. They're not godly. They get their power and draw strength and energy off of us. And the more we get, the more time, the more energy we put into them, the stronger they get. Without us, they're nothing. They go into nothingness. They are not. Some people call them little G gods, and no, they're nothing. They exist only to feed upon us, to weaken us. That's what I've learned. And I refuse. I rebuke all of it. I refuse to participate. I don't want nothing to do with them. I turn my back on them. That's what I've learned, because they are nothing. They never were nothing, and they only get any power off of preying on the weak, the vulnerable, and the misguidedness. That's it. You have no power with me. You cannot take no power from me. I have God protecting me from head to toe, back to front. I said, my soul is saved. I know where I'm going. I know where she's going. I, you know, if you think you're going to get mugged, you don't walk down that alley, right?
Nope.
That's all I'm trying to say. Like I said, I know it sounds crazy if you've known me before. What?
It's true. Jay says that's why when you go on those hunts looking for those things, you feel drained afterwards. That is so true.
Yep.
That is so true.
Yep. Because they're feeding off of you.
Mhm.
Because, like I said, they have no power. You know, they're nothing.
And the addiction is amazing when you go looking for things like that. Your mind doesn't ever let go of what you're doing. It is an addiction.
Chase said something earlier that you said, or you had said several times. He just wanted to have an encounter. He just wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
She will tell you. She said that many times.
Many years.
In many years. And when she got an opportunity to see and realize, what did you tell me? I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to see. I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to.
I don't want to be around those things. I don't want to see them. I don't want to be in the area where they are. However, now when we go hunting in our hunting place, they are there.
But we don't try to interact with them.
No. I know they're there and I want no interaction with them. I can usually tell, we can usually kind of tell where they are. Sometimes they come too close.
And then they're backed off.
They've done damage to the gentleman's
Property.
because of whatever they've done back and forth with them. I don't know. But no one's been harmed that I know of. I know their family won't go out at night. I know that.
No.
The kids,
And what's crazy is we were all in the woods at night looking for cobras, deer.
there was nothing that happened. Okay.
Because you had no fear. You were helping one of your kids find his deer to feed our family. There was no fear. We had no animosity.
No, but I know they were there.
Yeah, but you wasn't worried about it.
No, but do I want to go out looking for them? Absolutely not.
No, especially in the night. You're.
I don't want to go out looking for them in the day.
Well,
but especially at night.
Well, we it's not that we're looking for them. Like I said, we got some outings. I want to show people what to look for in case they are in the area. Like my granddaddy used to teach me how to find the sign to stay away from them. I want to show people what to look for if they're in the area to know what they're dealing with. I'm not going to show you how to find them. If you're looking for that, you're looking in the wrong, because I am telling you, you do not know what you're wanting. If you push your luck with them they will kill you and they will eat you. And no one will ever find what is left of you because it won't be nothing left
Nope.
but the poop.
No, and most of it'll be just covered up anyway. A missing person.
So I'm not going to show
bears.
you how to find it. I'm going to show you the signs to say, okay, there's one here. I'm going to show you how to be respectful in Mother Nature and not cause a problem, because that can happen too. And you need to understand, the one you see is usually not the one that you need to worry about. It's the one that is sneaking up on you. It's the one that's luring you in to the other ones. You need to understand, these things are more dangerous than a bear. So if you don't go out and hunt bear, if you don't go out and fool a bear, you need to understand, these things, bears run from them. Grizzly bears run from these things. So I don't care what kind of gun you got or knife, whatever. Okay.
The channel that we talked about briefly, Maximum Fear, that David Nino
He's
Rodriguez,
got some real ones on there.
he does have some real pictures and some video of, there's a face eater on one, and there's a couple real Sasquatches on them. And if you go look at I want to say it was maybe on, was it on Monday maybe? It's a couple days ago, the video he put out. There's a huge black squatch and he's walking away, and he turns back and he looks at the camera, and that he's 100%
It's
real.
not, I don't know where he got it from. It's not his. He put it out.
Yeah, he puts out, people send in trail cams,
Well,
videos,
a lot of these videos is what he likes to do is he likes to find videos and pictures that are before a certain time that AI was ever around. And
but that one with the big whole body one.
Oh yeah,
there's another.
That is, I look, when I popped in the room, I was like, huh?
Yeah,
that is a real one. I look, y'all, I've been way closer than you should be, not on purpose, by accident, to several of them. It looks just, it's like a
drop his link in there.
Yeah. It is One Eye Willie. We thought we had some good pictures of him. This is like taking a school picture of this thing, and it turns around and walks off. And it's not a full grown one. It's a teenage one.
And there's a face eater on there, you said.
Oh yeah, there's a face eater on there. It's down in the bottom, and how you can usually tell them, their mouth kind of protrudes out. There's some fake ones on there too. He doesn't make the distinction of which ones are false and which ones true. He's just bringing the evidence, and I like that. And he's a new kid, and he's trying. So y'all, please go subscribe and like some of his stuff and leave him some good comments. Because remember, everybody likes to tell everybody when they're not doing good, but nobody likes to tell anybody when they're doing something. They like to tell them when they're doing something bad. Nobody likes to tell when they're doing something bad. What's wrong?
I sent it to you, but I don't know where it went.
What do you mean you sent it to me?
I think it might have gone to your Gmail. How do you copy the link?
Hold on. You can.
I want to send this. I'm going to copy this link.
Hold on a second.
Put it in chat.
Sure. Gmail.
Got a new phone and it's weird. I like my old phone.
It's not weird.
I like my old, outdated.
No, she don't, because that sucker is magnetic on the back, and she can walk up in the stall in the back, go dook, and sticking on the
bathroom at work. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I do like that. That I do like. I like the case.
Hold on.
It's the case. I miss my old phone.
No, you don't. She just thinks she does.
Yes, I do. We're gonna drop the link to Maximum Fear with the real footage of some of the squatches out there.
There we go. I'm dropping it in there now.
And that right there is the video with the face eater in it and the real Squatch.
What? What is this saying?
Oh, she just wanted. That's the link, Crystal. That's what she's talking about. See,
Yep,
her
that's
sister
the
was
link.
talking.
There's what now?
Night Chase.
Right.
You gotta go
See you later, brother. What is they also use to?
They're probably talking amongst themselves, and
I
you're getting
don't know.
involved in chat.
I'm
told
lost
you
in
don't
the
do that.
sauce.
Stop.
I'm lost. That sorry. But like I said, that is my goal. Is I'm not going to teach you how to find. I'm going to show you what to find, signs that they're in the area. So if you have stuff going, so you're not oblivious, because these things can make sounds that sound just like other animals, and I believe that they're communicating amongst themselves. That's what I believe. These things are more intelligent than most people give them credit for. They're highly intelligent.
But the good thing is too is that hunting season's coming up.
Yep.
And we are going to make it a concerted effort to at least have one body camera on.
Oh,
Okay.
I've got one.
I'm not talking about filming our hunting experience. I want to film the back of one of us from behind as we are cleaning a deer in the woods.
What I'm going to do is put a couple of trail cams back up in the woods, close to where we're cleaning. The other thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to film some of my hunts. My thing is I'm not going to show you me dispatching an animal.
No.
That to me that's disrespectful to that animal.
But I know that
that's
they
my
will
belief.
come up. But the audio would be great, even just audio, because
that's like these little dudes right here, y'all. These are wireless transmitters. They will transmit over 500 yards to the receiver. So what I'm going to do is go in a thicket where I know they usually go, and I'm going to pin one. I'm going to go into another area over where I know they usually crawl up at. I'm going to pin one, and I'm going to be recording the sound and everything from these, because the other thing is I've got a set of I don't hear real good, to me, bang bangs, boom booms. I've got a set of the EarPod Pro 3s, and it is amazing that what it lets me hear, because this ear don't hear what the shit. But I will be able to hear more and everything, and I'm going to record that, because I know they make sounds as they come in that alert each other, and they're trying to see what you do. We're going to be filming. I have a GoPro 13 over there, creator's edition, that has a mic it's already mic'd up and everything.
Excuse me.
I think, and I can control that with my cell phone from a distance. I think I'm going to put that lower down on like a lower level to be able to turn that on and off instead of being up where I am, and turn it on and off. And see, this is the thing. I firmly believe they can see trail cameras because of the IR. The cameras I'm going to be using that I can turn on and off manually from my cell phone, they don't use IR. So I don't know what we're going to get. And we're going to be doing this in the daytime. So we don't need flashlights and...
No, and next time we go out there, I'm going to get some more hair.
Yep. But like
because I miss the smell.
You having fever with them?
No, not with this hat. I ain't touching my hands. I had told y'all guys I had to get rid of the hat after I collected that hair, and I had my baseball cap on. I kept touching my hat because I just messed with my hat. I was sweating. Man, that cap stunk. Oh, I had to get rid of it. What?
You don't read that?
What about it?
I was looking Anyway,
He just made a comment that that William's been watching you for a long time.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
I hope I've cleaned my act up. Like I said, I got a lot more stuff coming. I have some interviews. The other thing we're fixing to be able to do is my cell phone will pump straight into the receiver, and I can actually. It'll be just like you hook your phone to your car, and you can drive hands free. It'll be just like that. That we can talk back and forth. Y'all be able to hear them. I've got Larry's got me up with a guy that's got several encounters. I've got other people that I've been talking to. That is not counting out like Cuz and them. I would love for him to tell his story because it's funny. First time we ever met this man, and he's inebriated, yo. He's good and inebriated. He's having fun. He's on this big jacked up. This is a big old guy.
He's
Big
a
old
Memphis,
guy.
he is a Memphis racer. Tell me he's not a Memphis racer, is he? I don't know what those Memphis people
Yeah,
who race.
he runs on the Memphis circuit. He's part of JJ the Boss's bunch.
But he had a jacked up. What was it?
It was a 4-wheeler.
Four-wheeler.
Yeah, it had
Oh, man.
the tires on it were as big as your tires on your car.
He would blow by us.
It sounded like a damn V8 on this damn.
And we're going down the road, right? And then we'd catch up to him. He passed out, and we keep going. And then sure enough, a little bit later, yeah, we go again. And then we catch up to him again. He's passed out.
Good guy. Now he ain't doing this on the road. We're off in the woods. We're on a pig trail. So he ain't doing this in the woods. So it ain't like the only person he can hurt is him. And he's a grown ass damn man. But anyway, we go down. I can tell you the river. It's we go down. We're in the Tallahatchie River bottoms on the back side of Sardis Lake to give y'all an idea of where we're talking about. So it's squatchy, dog man, all that shit's been seen back there. Well, Cat is walking around, and all of a sudden they light a. As soon as we get there and everybody gets off, he lights a fire. I'm telling it ain't cold and it ain't dark.
I think they've heard the story.
Anyway, but I think it's funny because Cat is walking around, and because all of a sudden we start hearing this owl, and it's way off in the distance. Now remember, he just lit a smoky ass fire. Well, just a few seconds go by, and now the owl is several hundred yards closer, and it's louder. A little bit time goes by, and it's on the other side of the river from us. And Cat's looking around, and all of a sudden, Cuz is what I call him. He looks at her and he goes, "I know what you're looking for." Cat goes, "What am I looking for?" He goes, "You looking for them things' footprints." Cat goes, "What you mean?" He said, "Them big ass hairy things."
He said, "Them owls out there."
Yeah, them owls. And he said, "Them ain't owls. It's some big hairy things."
I said, "I know."
He said, "Cat
That's
says,
why I
what do
came
you know?"
closer to the fire. I said, "I know."
Cat goes, "What you know about?" Now this guy was stone drunk. He kept passing out on the way out there. He was the last one to get there because he had woke up again. And come on, all of a sudden when they started doing that, this some bitch went completely almost sober because he's looking around at everybody and he's like, and he's talking as he's looking. He goes, "You see down there by that, it's about 100 yards away from us. You see where that limb stretches over?" And Cat goes, "Yeah." He said, "Well, we were down here not too long ago, and my daughter was standing out here." And he said, "And I was I think he was gathering some wood up for a fire or something." He said, and he goes, "Daddy," she goes, Daddy, look at the bear." He said, and I turn around, and there's this big, huge, hairy thing standing right there. He said its head was up in that limb right there, stretching over. He said it looked at me, looked at my daughter. It took a step, and it was in the middle of the road. It took another step, it was on the other side of the road. It took another step, and it went down in the woods. I said, "What'd you do?" He said, "I got my daughter, put her in front of me, and told her," he said, "Baby, hold on." He said, nah, he said, I let that thing eat dirt. He said, we got out here faster than ever. He said, later on, we come back down here. We drove up to the limb he's talking about. This man's over 6 foot tall. He stands up on top of this high rise freaking 4-wheeler, and he cannot touch the limb with his hand. He said, you know what? Y'all done messed up my drunk. I'm going home. That's exactly what he said. And he said, y'all done messed up my drunk. I'm going home.
And every time we saw him out there, he was drinking. Every time he's in the woods, he has to get drunk to be in the woods.
But that man instantly sobered up. And I want to, he goes, y'all done messed up my drunk. I'm getting out of here. Like I said, these people don't talk about stuff like that. These men don't. These are, well, Doc, for instance, another man that I introduced her to. Doc is, when you met him, he had just got out of prison for 27 years for murder, second-degree murder.
Doc is as black as this right here on the microphone. When we were at Rod's shop, mechanic shop. And,
Rod is one of my best friends, y'all. He's another little brother of mine.
So you got out of the truck, and somebody was calling.
No, somebody went hoo-doo-hoo.
And you said who we going after?
I said who we after?
Now you're the only white boy there.
I look like a piece of salt in a pepper pile.
And this man turns to you
and said, what you be? Now, I grew up and I understand the lingo and everything. Within 5 minutes, this man's got his arm around me and he's my best friend.
He got that. So Volt brings this man over to the truck. And I just got out of work and I'm sitting there playing my game on my phone, and he opens up the truck door. I turned to look at this man, blacker than this. Now, we're all these men out here black. I love all of our friends.
I got to tell a story about her and Rob.
When he opened that door, I turned and I looked at that man, and all I could think of was the darkest, hardest Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
Holy Doc. Shit, what am I looking at? Right? Because he was jacked.
Now you got to understand, he got his name, Doc, from Doc Holliday.
This man was so jacked, his skin was shiny. He looked like someone made him out of obsidian, and he's holding a beer, and the biggest, brightest smile.
I hadn't been out of the hospital long.
And he's got his arm around you. And
he come over to tell you everything's gonna be okay. I got my brother. He said,
but we got some talking, or we got
some jawing we got to do.
Yeah. And he shuts the door to the truck. Bye-bye. Yeah.
Like I said, Rob.
He was so, that man, Doc, was so happy to have met you because you introduced yourself. And the way you introduced yourself to a man like that, there was such a moment of recognition and
real recognizes real.
But you
don't fake people like that.
No. This man over here was in awe. That's all I can say.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story about Miss Cat here.
You just made my leg jump.
About Miss Cat here. My best friend Rod. That's what we call him, Hot Rod. He's a black guy. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, that I showed y'all a picture this last time. He was my best man at our wedding. Love that fella to death.
Mm-hmm.
He will do anything for me just like I will do anything for him. Cat one day coming home. This is I'm still recovering at home. Now at the time we only had the my black Dodge truck, Sinister. She's coming home from work and she has a blowout on the truck.
Yep.
And she calls me and it's like, what do I do? And
I'm on the phone with you and I'm like, oh my God, it's 18. Oh no,
and
it's
she's
10.
watching the number,
the pressure
go down.
go down, and I am.
She's in a bad area.
I'm feet away from the Mississippi line, and
Yep.
I'm in bad Memphis.
Yeah. Anyway, she goes, I don't know what to do. And I couldn't get there. And even if I could, I couldn't get the tire off the truck.
But it got down to 10. And you said, you got to pull over. And I said, God, get me over get me over the Mississippi line. Get me over the Mississippi line. I got right over the Mississippi line and it went down to 0.
Yep. Anyway, I told her, I said, hold on, baby. I said, let me make a phone call. Because like I said, I didn't have a way to get to her. You're like 8 miles away from me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a way to get to her. And I picked up the phone and I called Rod. He said, what's going on, brother? I said, man, can you do me a huge favor? He said, well, you name it. And I could call him now and he'd say the same thing. I said, look, Kat has blown a tire or something. And I told him where she was. He goes, okay, hold on. He goes, hold on. He said, I got both my jacks, my heavy jacks under cars. All of a sudden, he starts hollering at other people that work for him. Hey, man, block that car. He takes a jack out from under a car that they're working on, throws it in the back of his truck. I didn't know he was bringing somebody else with him. He goes to go help Kat. All I'm talking about, within 5 minutes, he's on the road. My neighbor, luckily, is at home, and I asked him to carry me to Kat because I don't want her out there where she's at by herself. Rod and this other guy, real good guy, go to pull up. Now, this is the funny thing.
Now, I'm sitting there in the truck, and I've got...
She's got her pistol in her lap.
I got my gun, and here comes this truck.
A truck that she don't know because Rod's in another truck.
Nose to nose in front of my truck. And I'm looking, and there's some white guy with a beard and a mustache and a ball cap on, right? And driving. And I was like, oh, hell no. I am not going to get... So I grabbed the gun.
Guy. The white guy's in the passenger side. Rob is driving.
So
he zooms in on the white guy.
I zoom in on the white guy. I take my gun out of the holster, and it's on my lap. I'm ready to go. And then I see a guy step out of the passenger side, and it was Rod. And
this man is always smiling.
I was like, oh, thank God.
All of a sudden,
I jump out of the truck.
She runs up there and hugs Rod. Oh, thank you. He said, I got you, sister. I got you. And then I pull up. They won't let me touch nothing or help nothing. This other little white dude, I cannot remember.
He's a big white guy.
Well, big white guy. He ain't a little. I cannot remember his name for nothing, but he takes the jack out of the truck. Rod has done. Rod said, "No, we ain't using that one." He said, "Go get." He brings a 3-ton Daytona jack, slides it under my truck, jacks it up, takes his tool, takes it off, gets my spare out from under the truck, puts it on. And looks at her and goes, "Sister, you need something else?" Now, Kat tried to pay him. He will not take any money. We go up to the tire. We drive from there up to. I can't drive at this time. So Kat's still driving. She says, "Boy," I said, "We're going to the tire shop to get a tire because you gotta. This is the spare. We gotta have a tire on the truck." And like I said, we got it. He called a couple hours later wanting to know if I'd got a tire. He said, because he found me one if I needed one. I said, I got her a spare, another tire on. And that night we had ordered new tires for the truck because every tire, if you're running around Memphis, don't buy good new tires because every one of our tires had a plug in it.
Mm-hmm. Had multiple plugs in it.
Because there's debris, there's
Jesus Christ, potholes that are the size of sinkholes from Florida. The hell.
But anyway, no, we don't have potholes. We got craters.
Memphis is bad. Their
Yeah,
roads are
they ain't
bad.
spending the money on the roads. I can tell you that
I
now.
don't know what they're spending the money on.
If they rode around, all they would have to do is put magnets out on the truck in the front of it and drive around, and man, they would probably pick up $100 worth of damn scrap metal a day of the crap that's in the roads. But
Anyway,
that's another one of my brothers. Like I said, Rob, that's where we hunt at, and like I said,
that's where we're going to be getting most of our. I'm hoping.
yeah, as long as nothing else goes on, that's like I said, because I'm going back pretty much strictly bow hunting again. I
But that's where we had most of our activity, so I want to go back out there for that. Night,
night.
William. But
I
yeah,
think we're fixing to call this one ourselves, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And I know this is not the typical kind of show, but me and her, after we watched, listened, and everything, this is a tribute to those three little. And I don't have permission to say their names, so I'm not going to say their names because those will evermore be little boys forever. I know they're up in heaven and they don't have nothing else that bad can happen to them. But to me, they never got justice. And they won't never, I don't believe. But I wanted to bring awareness and say, I'm sorry they didn't do what they were supposed to bring that devil, demon, whatever you want to call it, to justice. And you are not forgotten. What happened to you should be a lesson to everyone else, parents, families, kids. Be careful, and be careful where you go.
be careful who you bring home
Yeah.
around your children too.
Robin Hood Hills
Mm-hmm.
is another name for this area.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But Paradise Lost is the documentary. I would recommend you watch that. That way, we can continue to make other people aware of things like this.
well, like I said, we're always talking about cryptids, and like I said, this started out us doing research to do about cryptids or what is this.
And that Memphis, that MPD officer did see something.
Yeah,
and that
there's
was
something
not
out
human.
there. I don't know what it is, but there's something else out there that I can tell you is not. It's not alive. It's not dead, and it is evil.
And there's a
Pure
lot of
freaking evil.
land that is cursed.
Yeah, I was told it was cursed by the Chickasaw tribes. Now I can't prove that. I can't deny that, but I can tell you, you can go back in time and from 93 to now. If you look at, you'll see it on the show several times. And when you look this area up, it looks the same to this day. Nobody wants nothing to do with this place. So it's evil. I'm telling you, there's some kind of evil. I don't know if it's in the ground or it came to be. I don't know. It's evil. And I don't want something like that. I don't want nothing to do with it. You're inviting trouble. You're inviting. And when you watch this, watch how one of the stepdads acts and reacts, and
And you'll see how he can use religion as a cover. That's the sickest part of it. That he did have a crowd that rallied around him.
And you'll see by the end of the movie, all of a sudden, he has a change of heart and he jumps right on the bandwagon and he's free the Memphis 3.
Mm-hmm.
And these evil ass damn cops didn't do stuff for his baby.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
Thank
you all for showing up.
Thank you. And I don't know what we're going to be doing next Friday, but this is going to be Friday Night Lives with Cat and Ball. And we're going to cover all kind of stuff here. I'm thinking about doing a show middle of the week, probably Wednesdays or something. I'm thinking midday, something like coffee time with Vault, and we can. I'm even thinking about, because we're gonna have it where we can call in and stuff. If you email me your number so I can call you, or I may start out by dropping a link in chat if it's easier. However, and I will give you a platform to talk about if you had whatever kind of experience. Like I said, this is more than this is about us, y'all. This is not just about me. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy it's fun to me, and it gives me something to do. I started late last night. I had getting everything set up, fixing things because we were going to do it a different way, and it didn't work. And she got tired of watching me try to put this together and rig this together. And we sit down and we invested in some more equipment. And
What?
she believes in me, and thank you. And she takes her time out of doing other things that she could be doing to be on here and support me. And like I said, I enjoy doing this. So as long as I can, and as long as I enjoy it, and as long as one of y'all want to be here and listen. We started the show out, there was one person. And I was going to do the show whether that was the only person or not.
I think that one person was me on my phone now.
Well,
you'd be talking to me.
Yeah, I'll be talking to her. She got to answer herself.
I was the only one in chat.
But that like I said, some of the funnest things. You said something earlier, and we're fixing to end this, but I want to tell this. You know how you were talking about people don't talk? That's something we do every night. We sit around and talk about things she's seen or come up with, stuff I have, and we brainstorm this and that. And hey, that's something I'd like to look into. Even if we're talking about that, or we're talking.
Most of the time we sit down to watch the darn documentaries on TV, and we end up talking so much we don't even know what's going on in the documentaries.
Well, they're boring.
Because we go in a different direction. And he goes left all the time.
Well, some of the Bigfoot ones we watch, I get so damn frustrated, mad because I was like, that's bullshit.
Those are so bad.
And now that she's been around me long enough and out and how I do things, she'll tell you that's bullshit.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, anytime you see a kill site where they say, oh, there's a Bigfoot feeding ground with a bunch of bones. And no, hell no, it ain't. Bigfoot eats everything.
Yep.
Don't leave no bones. No. Ain't no skull that's all over like he licked it clean. Give me a break.
No, I told her the only thing that eats like a squatch is a pig. and
sorry guys.
They'll eat everything but the chin and shoes.
Yeah, they ain't no kill sites.
That's
just bull crap. That's probably some poacher's area or.
And if they're bringing stuff back to a certain place each time, that place is safe to them. And if you find it, you're probably going to be part of it. Because that's like some stranger walking up and sitting down at your table and saying, feed me, or this is my place. That ain't gonna go over well with me. I don't know about y'all, but yeah, you got into the wrong house. She gets on to me all the time for not locking the door. I tell her I don't want to lock the door. I want to have some fun.
Night, everybody. We need to say good night. Do the outro.
Do the outro?
Don't you have one?
I can make one. I need to make a new one. No, thank y'all for being here and showing up. And like I said, I know this started out dark, but this is the thing. Those 3 little babies are in a better place than we could ever want to be in a night until we get there. If we've lived right enough to get there. I hope I have. I think I have. And to those innocents, I'm sorry. And thank you. Keep the door open for me until I get there. And to everyone else, sweet nightmares.